Hey, how's it going?
I'm hanging out with this little dude named Teddy.
How long do you have them for?
They go home on Friday.
Aw, you gonna miss them?
No. I mean, yeah, having a house full of fucking 4 dogs, a cat, a hedgehog, a guinea pig, a skink, thousands of fucking, rats and goddamn hundreds of snakes is like, it's a lot, dude.
You love it, don't lie.
As long as there's not human kids, I love it.
There you go.
The humans.
All right.
Yeah.
We have a very special guest tonight with us. We got Andrew from Redwood Reptiles out in California.
Yeah, bring him in, dude.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
A California guy who doesn't suck.
Right? Who shows up, Doug?
Whoa.
You broke the streak. Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, right?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. Come on, Teddy. You
It's
gotta
going. What do you got there?
out of here. Oh, this is my buddy Tyler's dog.
He looks so upset, like, no.
And
He looks like he looks like Weekend at Bernie's dog. Like he's just out.
Baby, man. Oh, he's an old guy, but he's a little guy. No, my buddy's on leave right now, and I'm just watching his 2 dogs till he comes back on Friday.
Oh, cool.
I got another couple of big ass dogs over here. God damn, man.
Well,
It's ain't about me though. It's about you, man.
That's
So
about
give
all of us.
It's
That's about all of us.
There we go.
Give us your intro, man. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you work with? And I want to know where your company name came from too.
Oh boy, you and everyone else. So my name is Andrew Lyons. I'm with Redwood Reptiles. I'm based out of Los Angeles, California, and I've been in this whole snake thing for about a year now. The name came from. So I can't really explain it. It's okay. It's 2 parts. 1 part because it's confusing. 2 parts because it's gonna offend people. But it's like an old inside joke with buddies.
Fine.
Love it.
And so I've used it for fantasy football. I've used it for the old holster company I used to have, and I just carried it over to the reptile thing. So, yeah.
So then I take it you're just, Cali born and bred. You're going to be there for life. You're not going to ever go anywhere. When the San Andreas fault cracks, you're going to die. And
I can't. Honestly, I'll tell you right now, geographically, there's no place I'd probably rather be. I'll be honest. However, everything else, I can't wait to get the hell out of here. Like, when I'm able to and when it works for me, I'm 1,000% getting out of the state. So
that's what everyone said. Seems to be the general consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just for a lot of reasons. I mean, one of the main ones is too expensive. And, like I was born in LA and I lived there, I grew up there, I worked there, and I'm still here. So it's ran its course. I'm over the congestion, the traffic, the people, and everything else that's not good with it. So, but geographically, it's a badass place. It's just
I've been
right. Yeah,
I've been. I love it. It was a great place to vacation. I went to LA. I went to San Francisco. I was staying at a friend's house up in Brentwood. That's like
that's nice.
Yeah, Brentwood's really nice. It was an Army friend of mine, and it was California was great, and I would love to go visit again. But like you said, it's really expensive. And to be honest, man, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so the opposite side
Steel town.
the country of you, right?
Yeah.
But again, I was born there. I grew up there and all that shit. So it's like I don't live there anymore. Like it was when I could leave, I did.
Yeah.
And I never looked back.
Well, that's the thing is when people come here to visit, I feel sorry for people because if they don't know somebody that lives here and knows like the good spots of LA County, not Los Angeles City, because the city's shit. But the county has a lot of very nice cities and places if you know where to go. But people, they hit the tourist spots and the tourist spots they're dirty and there are tons of homeless people. And it's like, what the hell? I see people when they're like tourists and you can tell them they're looking around like, is this fucking it? Like, this can't be it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't blame them because downtown's trash. Hollywood's getting worse. Well, it is worse. It's just a lot of the nostalgia is just it's just leaving this state, this city. So, it's got its pluses, but it's got way more negatives.
Yeah.
Like you said, it ran its course, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it, bro.
Big time. What's up,
Alright.
Max? I got my iPad up so I could see the comments. I always forget to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, nice, awesome.
I need to give someone attention before they have a fucking anxiety attack.
Oh, you got a pit too?
I got 2 of them.
Nice.
So I got 2 pits that are mine, and then I'm watching that little white dog and a big ass fucking retriever lab mix.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have a blue pit, but he's like 14, so he looks like the old guy in Big Trouble in Little China right now. He's all white.
Yeah, mine's I got a red nose and his snoot's starting to get white right here.
Okay. How old is he?
He's 8.
Okay.
So he's getting there, but he's not really like he's starting to slow down, but not by much, man. He's healthy, he gets fed good, he's really active. He just
hit senior age though.
Yeah,
7, 8 when they hit that senior.
Yeah, he's just kind of a little bitch ass. Like,
you know, mine's only a bitch with fireworks.
Yeah, dude. Mine just wants his daddy all the time. He's just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little daddy's boy.
Yeah.
Like your daddy's boy. But yeah, fireworks. He cries. He physically shakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was on my leg the whole time, and it was infuriating. I felt bad for him, but I was just like, get away from me.
Yeah.
I just put.
My dogs don't care.
Really?
No, they don't give a crap at all.
You have like bird dogs.
I got a pit mix. I have a shepherd beagle mix, and I have a Doberman coonhound.
Oh wow! So yeah, I go bird hunting. So when I see the dogs, I'm like, man, Tank could never do this shit. Like you just sit there and think. Yeah.
Here's the other one I got.
Yeah, no, they're the only one. The pit mix doesn't like anything with an engine. He only has 3 legs. He was hit by a car before we got him. So anything with a motor. He's terrified of the car, but he'll get right in. He's not one of those dogs. He just wants to be in your lap the whole time, which at 65 pounds doesn't really work very well.
It's not practical.
Yeah, we were sitting in the vet office parking lot, right? Because COVID, like you're not allowed to go in, so you sit in the parking lot and wait for everyone to come out. We were just going in for like his annual, and he got in my lap and probably blared the horn for about 5 minutes before I could get him off of me enough to the horn to quit going off. So yeah, he's fun, but
they came out and you're like, we're here.
Yeah. I'm like, I bet these people are like, that fucking bitch has been blaring her horn for 5 minutes. Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll jump into some questions here. So, Andrew, you said you've only been in this for a year now, a little over a year.
Yeah, I really started deciding I wanted to do the breeding thing in April or May of last year. So yeah, about a year.
Nice. So is this your first season then? Will you have, or how many clutches have you, your first?
First one, I got one clutch that hatched out.
Nice.
And that one I started pairing up in November. And then I have 2 in the incubator, and I've got 5 females that have ovulated, so I'm waiting to drop. And then I got another 7 or so that are over the 20 millimeter mark. So
nice.
So yeah, I mean, I've had 3 so far. You know, only one's hatched out though.
Right.
Yeah.
Still super awesome. So obviously we've talked a little about this. You got some badass pairings.
Yeah, you're like,
your first
this
season.
is my first year.
Yeah, I'm looking at this going, this dude's producing better shit than I am. What the fuck am I doing wrong?
I started with like 1 desert ghost male and 6 females.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but they were all codons and I had to start from scratch. You're over here like just pulling your 10-pound meat around and slapping on the desk. Like, for fuck's sake, man.
I cut in line.
Yeah, you sure did. You didn't cut in line. You like murdered everyone on the way up and then cut in line.
Yeah, right.
Like there's no way those people are getting there. No. But my question for you is, how did you start? Like, did you have mentors? Like, what made you go this path? Right? Because most people, they start out with a couple, 1 gene or 2 gene, or maybe they are smart enough to go a recessive route and they start out small. So how did you come into this and go at it in the direction that you're going right now?
So I've had them just as pets, ball pythons, since I was like 10. And about 8 years ago, I'd gone through 3 or 4 years of not having one. So I went and got another one. So it was just a male spider, and I just kept it as a pet. And early in the beginning of 2020, I was just watching a lot more breeder videos, a lot more clutch cutting videos. Yeah, I wish he never showed up. He just killed the whole move.
Yeah.
Eat a dick.
Andrew
exactly.
Lee was like, no, right? Like, I can't do it with this shit with this guy here.
Friends like these, right?
Yeah.
Friends like these. So, so yeah, so I was just watching a lot of these clutch cutting videos, and I started. Miguel caught my eye initially, and then got into Billy stuff, and then just from hearing numbers being thrown around, I've always had that mindset. Like I told you before, I had a holster business. I was always trying to do something to be, self-sufficient and independent and have my own, my own business. So
be your own boss.
Yeah, exactly, and put all the work into yourself. So this kind of, it piqued my interest a little bit when I heard some numbers, and I started doing the math, and I was like, man, like I was looking at these videos, talking to my daughter, saying, man, I want a couple more snakes just to have. And then I started thinking, well, man, I could start breeding them. And I just one of those people that when I get something in my head and it makes sense, I just go all in and like as hard as I can to get to where I want to be as quick as possible. So I started doing that. I've met Anthony at Granddaddy Herps. He's like two hours south of me. And I didn't know who he was. I just found him. He was selling some snakes. So I went and bought 4 snakes from him. And we started talking. We talked for a couple hours. And then he kind of got the bug going as far as doing it as like a breeding for real. So I just started soaking up as much information as possible, trying to learn the genetics, making some mistake purchases in the beginning. But
everyone does.
Yeah.
I mean, if you never make the mistake, you never can grow from it, right?
Or
learn to do it differently.
Because I'm
I
just
still buy shit.
Yeah, I'm such a snake hoarder. I'm just like,
I know.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It's like I don't really think that through.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but I just want it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a point I think where every breeder starts to change that mindset of buying what you want or what visually looks appealing to what you actually need to buy. And that shift definitely makes a big difference in your collection and in your investments.
Yeah. Well, one other thing too is like good. You there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a phone. Shit, I didn't know.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, we're waiting on you. Like, I'm like, not trying to be rude. Like, Andrew, fucking talk, bro.
You like
you can't stroke it out.
Yeah. So one of the things that I found though is it's really hard to pinpoint what it is you're looking for and what you need to know. So you hear the basic things, and I've seen this with my work too. Like you hear the basic things with the breeding, like, hey, learn the genetics before you buy. Learn what projects you want to work with. All the same redundant stuff, but it's like, how do you really do that or apply it without understanding, all the possibilities or what the potential of some of these animals are? And so I think that's where a lot of the mistakes come in, because your what you like changes, your taste changes. And so like, I bought some albino stuff, and now I'm like, I like albino, some of it, but I love a lavender albino. Yeah. But so, then things change. So I think that's where a lot of the mistakes come in, and also just trying to do what I did and rush into it and just want to see all these freaking snakes when you open your drawers. That's part of the problem too. But you learn a lot along the way. So
yeah,
no, that's there's in my opinion, like, because I've like mentored a lot of people, at least up to a certain extent, especially when it's their first snake they're buying from me, or they just started getting into breeding or whatever. And it just always comes to like a point where it's like, I got to set you free, and you got to do what you got to do, because you got to do what you like. Because you're not going to like what I like. I mean, right. You might, you came to buy my fucking byproduct. So you might, but it's still my byproduct. Like, you need to look at what you like and reach out and spend the money and commit to that animal that's going to push that next level project, man. And that's what you're doing. I see you.
Well, I think you have to look. I think there's two ways you could look at this whole thing. Even with a mentor, it's either like, do you want to, expand upon your breeding knowledge and just grow your collection for personal reasons, or, because you like the animals, or do you have that and then want to go the business route as well? And I think the mindsets are completely different. And people all the time like to shit on people talking about the business side of it, which I'll never understand, and I'm not going to entertain it. I get, if that's how you feel, you're entitled to that, but I don't feel that way. So I don't think it's taboo to talk about it. It's either give your animals away for free, or don't put a price tag on them. I mean, or sell them. Them
motherfuckers wouldn't even have those animals without people like us. I'm just saying, like, they love them. They buy them as pets. They want to be keepers. That's cool. They want to, hold their ball python while they watch a movie or whatever. Cool, man. As long as it's eating, pooping, peeing, shedding, you're keeping it happy and healthy, and that's fine. But, like, without our business, you wouldn't have the joy of that animal. So how are you going to knock a car dealership for making and selling cars? Like, are you fucking...
Well, it's about the love of the automobile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always find that funny, right? Because a lot of time it is other breeders that are like, oh, you're only in it for the money, right? And I'm like what? I always tell people this. I'm like, this is a labor of love. There is money involved, but there is a labor of love. And the reason I say that, and we've talked about this on other lives, is there are much easier and better ways to make much more money with a smaller initial investment than breeding ball pythons. If you don't enjoy what you're doing and you don't enjoy the animals, no one would stick with this. I mean, they just wouldn't, because I could easily sell everything in this room, turn around, invest the money in something else, and very quickly make more money than what I'm making now with a lot less work.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. However, I will say this, that I've yet to find an industry or a business where the return on investment is so drastic, so quick. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, any animal you buy, I don't care if it's a $100 snake or a $30,000 snake. The first time that thing breeds, you're making your money back and then some, especially if it's a male. So it's one of those things to where it is a labor of love, and it does take time, and it is a daily thing. And I just wish there was a disclaimer you could put out there when you start talking about the business side. Like, yes, I love the reptiles. Yes. I don't mind taking care of them, but they're kept well. Now let's talk about the business. Right. So, and the people that say you're just doing it for the money are the people that aren't making money. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not trying to shit on anyone or start like.
Right. No. Yeah.
Name one person that's doing well and doing it as a business that says that. Nobody says.
Yeah, nobody. Not one person.
Or how long has the ball python market been dead?
Right.
Since I started doing this, it's been crashing.
Yeah, dude.
head over heels.
Exactly. So
I'm telling you, man, it's the year that I made, and I'm not shy about like numbers, right? So, I was a staff sergeant in the Army. You can Google like military pay chart, and you can see what I made. It's not. I think I made. Yeah, it's not a fucking secret. I made like $4,500 a month as a staff sergeant with full benefits. So as like a single dude, like that's, you can live off that. But to do that and invest in this and have a family and so on and so forth, like every other human being does, it's like really hard to do. So to have that initial investment and work really hard and everything, like the money, it comes back. And finally at year 6 of breeding, I made more than what the Army paid me in a year.
Nice.
And as soon as I did that, I was like, later, nerds, I'm out this motherfucker.
Dude, and that's the thing. And that's why, like, I came at it with that perspective. And so you asked about mentors, and my first and still, like, close mentor friend is Billy from Mutation Creation. So,
fuck yeah, dude. Man.
Yeah, and people, they say so I got on the mentorship tier, right? So I'm paying the $250 a month, right? Which sounds steep. After being on it for a couple months, I won a dreamsicle just on a raffle he does for giveaways. So he gave away, and it's badass. And it was free. I didn't have to pay for it. Just entered whoever's in his top 2 tiers, actually top 4, and gave away snakes. So I was already in the black, but the thing is that, yeah, I paid to be in the mentorship program, but that dude goes above and beyond, and you actually build rapport with him. And now, you know, we just talk, right? Not even about snake stuff, but his, you know, I'm getting sidetracked, but he's the one whose brain I picked for the money. Him, and talking to a couple other people that are pretty successful, you know.
Yep.
And it's exciting. It's when you have that mindset and you're interested in things like that, when you talk to people like that, it's exciting. It gets you all ramped up. So so that's pretty much who's saved my ass in a couple instances, and you know, been my main mentor through the whole thing. But he's a great one to have if you're gonna have that second.
Oh fuck.
Every time I see that stupid ass R, I'm gonna
right.
it says.
No, you know, that's so something I tell people is there's so much that can be, I agree with that. There's so much that can be taken from a human being, right? You could have your freedom taken from you, you could have your money taken from you, you could have like your assets taken from you. Something that you cannot take from somebody is your education, right? I can't just suck all your knowledge out of your brain, right? You're always going to have that. So that tier that sounds steep, you're investing in something that is irreplaceable, dude. Like literally, education is the most valuable thing in the world. I mean, knowledge is power is like the oldest fucking cliche, but if you like, I can't even explain it. There's no amount of money that I think you could put a price tag on, like good knowledge in
sure.
any industry. 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
like you said, you're investing in yourself. And I don't know why my dogs are freaking out, but they are freaking out, dude.
But yeah, so it's you know, it's something I'm passionate about, and I'll get some messages sometimes, or some like kind of passive aggressive type comments like, oh, you fucking, pretty much saying like, oh, you have money to spend on this shit. And I took, you know, talking about risks, I liquidated my 401k to invest in this. So it's not like I was just good with money and I saved it, little nest egg, and I dropped it, or I'd make a ton of money. No, took a huge risk because I saw that if I'm going to make something out of this without having to wait, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to see a solid, legitimate return or do it full time, I'm going to have to go heavy in the beginning. And I'm going to have to get this shit going, because time's the most expensive thing we got. That we can, and
it is.
You know what I mean? So that's what
100%.
my mindset was. Like, I need to get this shit rolling ASAP. And
I love it.
It's all risk though, but it's fun.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it right. Like I can already see you're gonna be good, man.
I appreciate that. I'm trying. For people like Chad dragging me the fuck down, falling asleep in a group chat last night, snoring like an old man. It's really hard to stay motivated. Piece of shit.
Go on and elaborate on what that story real quick.
Oh, that was me, Troy. I think it was Dave or Max from Interstellar, and Dave from Ball's Garage. And I think and Chad was on. He turns his camera off while we're talking about something probably super important, and you just hear snoring.
Oh man. Chad's pretty fucked, bro.
Chad's a piece of shit.
All right, and
anyways,
not in Chad's defense, but these fuckers go to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I swear to God, my phone is like, bzz, bzz. I'm like, Jesus. Love the group chat. Lots of great information. Just giving you guys crap. But man, you want to talk about dedication. I love it. Like, if, you know, people that live and breathe this stuff, it's all day, every day, all the time, you know?
Yeah. Dude, it's all... My girlfriend, I showed her a picture yesterday or the day before, and she was like, she knew the morph of the snake, and she's like, I just know everything about the snakes now, because we'll be talking about something not even snake related, and then all of a sudden it's snake related.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's all that matters in life.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yep.
There's nothing else that matters. I can't think of anything else that makes me happier.
I dig it. And to Chad's point, you know, it's like this whole system, you know, I think it was Ozzy, it was on Billy's MC Academy thing. He had mentioned this is like a pyramid. Take out the scheme part, because every level literally benefits from the next. So, you know, when he's talking about like his comment about people putting money, regardless of where it came from, I don't care if you're a trust fund, baby. If you're dumping a shit ton of money into the industry, that's awesome for everyone on every level. So people are too short-sighted. They don't see that, and they're small-minded. And it, unfortunately, that's something that plagues people.
Andrew, how much can you bench, bro?
Stupid. Well, like max?
Yeah. One rep max bench press is usually at the end.
Ever? Or right now?
Like right now. Both. Like, give me both, actually.
Okay. Ever was 455, and right now maybe like 365, 350.
Fuck, I'm right. We're right. You and I are right there. Equal on 350.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking dying, bro. I've never been able to hit 4.
No?
No, I can't. I've never been able to hit 4, man. It's just.
Have you met Brandon in person?
It's the mental thing of the 4 plates. It's the mental thing. You slap that 4th plate on, and you hit 405, and it's like, ugh. But you get past that, and you're good.
I have to ask, have you guys met in person? Did you guys meet at Arlington?
Yes, we did.
No. Oh, wait, we did.
We did. Not for long.
We didn't talk much.
No.
I was going to say, and I know this isn't a huge thing, but I know it does matter. Brandon's, like, not super tall. Like, you'd think he's a really tall dude, but he's not super tall in person. He's kind of little.
I'm only 5'10". Like, I'm not that tall.
They were like the same height.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Well, I'm like 6 foot, but 2 inches.
2 inches is not a lot, yeah.
That'll take 2 inches all day.
2 inches make the difference.
Take it all day.
Oh my God! Look, Troy got us beat, dude. Look, Troy be shitting.
2 bags of Oreos.
Yeah,
Troy.
Troy, see, that's why we can't give Troy a solo episode because he can bench more than me and him.
There you go.
Why haven't we given Troy a solo episode?
Sure.
Sorry, buddy. I love you. He's one of my best friends in the industry.
Troy's amazing.
Oh yeah, Troy's a good guy.
Troy's legit.
Yeah.
He's only like 3 hours from me.
Fuck you, beat me. Oh damn. Jerome's a pretty fucking stout boy too, man. I feel like getting punched in the face by him would fucking suck. Like Jerome, he's
awesome. And I will say that 455 was it was in a competition with no shirt, so that was paused.
There you go.
But
you guys
Jerome's
both got
awesome.
me beat. In case anyone was wondering.
Did you know that Chad does jiu-jitsu?
Does he really?
I'm surprised he hasn't told everybody already. Yeah, he does jiu-jitsu.
Probably because he gets his ass kicked all the time. I'm just kidding, Chad.
Oh shit!
I'm just kidding, man.
It's all right.
I was number 2 in the Army, so.
Chad will be on
Brandon. This next question's yours.
I can hold my own for a little bit. Oh yeah, some big investments such as rack, snake, and facility. Okay, so let's tear this up a little bit. Let's chop it up. So do you have a facility? Because I saw your page, I saw your pictures. Obviously, like your walls and racks sort of have like, I don't know if it's like the linoleum or actual wood or whatever, but it looks like the floors and the walls are the same. So
it's wood.
I didn't know if that was like what is it? Wait, is it redwood? Because if it's not. Oh my fucking God! How could you?
I don't know. Well, it's too expensive because red was red. I needed the contrast of the browns and the tans.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
I'd just paint it like a cheap ass. So then you said you liquidated a 401k, all right? You're not, so people know when they're hearing or listening to this. Andrew's not the first person, and I'm sure he's not the last, that I've talked to who's liquidated taken a second mortgage out on their house, liquidated a 401k, liquidated a second business or 2, and I know a guy who just took a lien, like he paid off his sports car and then took another lien, like a loan out to lien against his car, and to invest in some really serious shit.
That's rad.
And dude, in 3 years, those guys all made their investment back, every single one of them, for real. So
yeah,
I want to know what's your if you're cool with. So yeah, we didn't ask this before we started. Is anything off limits as far as talking numbers or?
Not at all.
All right, cool. So what's your like total investment so far, and can you like sort of break it down so people actually realize like, hey, this is what I invested in the building or room or facility I'm in, the racks, the tubs, the deli cups, the animals, all of it.
So I would ballpark it at about 100. Not feeders, just equipment, animals, all the shit, the racks that I built before I got these racks or whatever
Yep.
it is.
Yeah, we all
Probably
get
like
that.
100, 110, 100, around 110,000. And you know that then there's the feeders on top of it. I have them delivered, so I feed live. So that's on average about 140 a week. So, you know, this is the third bedroom in my house, and I just tried to spruce it up a little bit to make it look, you know, somewhat, you know, nicer for backdrops. I had the intention of doing YouTube a lot more frequently, and I've kind of really dropped the ball on that. So,
Me too. It's all right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
I did 2 weeks in a row, and then I was like, yeah,
That's a lot of work, man.
kind of fell off. So
yeah, and you know, the incubator and stuff. So yeah, about 110, and yeah. So that was your question, right?
Yeah. So what do you?
If you could break down, like, roughly, what do you think you put into racks, into snakes? I think a lot of people think that snakes is the big investment, and a lot of people think that the infrastructure is a big investment. And I think, again, they kind of both have to play hand in hand. I know, like you said, you've obviously Billy's mentorship here, but one thing he says that I think is great is, you know, buy animals for your racks and racks for your animals, right? You can go out and spend thousands of dollars on industrial racks, but if all you do is fill them with normals, there's really no benefit to that, right?
Right. Yeah, there's always a you know, that aspect you got to look at when you're investing money. If you're looking at like a business, because everything's an investment and what's it going to yield. So rack wise, I had bought about 40 snakes before I bought these racks, and I'd say half those snakes were, I don't say nothing to write home about, but they weren't special. They were just, you know, your average whatever. And the racks together I bought because I saw the collection growing. The melamine racks I made, just, they were heavy. They weren't practical. It's just a pain in the ass. So got these, and these were, I think, delivered, both of them was about close to $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
So the incubator was $1,300 delivered. It's a 48-inch hot box sea serpents incubator. And then I got this stupid cocoa block shaker, and I call it stupid cocoa block shaker because the new cocoa blocks doesn't need to be shaken, so it's fucking tabletop. But
we're Reptile Chip people over here anyhow.
Oh, that's cool. I'm just kidding.
It's good shit. It's good shit, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Switch
I
over
like,
to the dark
if you like strings, let's show. No, I'm not. I have no allegiance to either one. I don't.
Okay.
But so yeah, so that was really all my as far as infrastructure goes. That was my big expense with the 2 racks, the incubator, and I guess this cocoa block shaker that I'm sitting on right now.
$500 table.
Exactly.
Yeah. So something I told Liz one time, because Liz is a Reptile Chip vendor, like she's a Reptile Chip representative.
I'm a representative for the Midwest.
So when I
got
not
representative, representative.
Yeah.
JT made that very clear.
So your $500 table, right? I'm about to shit on it.
Please, I'm probably gonna agree with you. Go ahead.
Something I've always done with Reptile Chip, right, is I've always taken it and ran it through a spaghetti strainer and shooken out all that fine stuff, because what I have an Indonesian blue tongue. It's an import straight out of Indo, right? So there's not that many of those, and it needs really high temperature, really high humidity, like 103 and 80% is like the minimum. So lots of people use Eco Earth and shit. Why don't we go buy something else if I'm already buying Reptile Chip? So I just put all that fine stuff that I shook off the chip down
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, and then I drench it, holds humidity, perfect. Put the dry stuff on top. I only have to change it every 6 months. It's the shit.
I was using Repchip for a while. I mean, and I never used Cocoa Blocks. I'd know whatever. But what the problem I was getting with a lot of these blocks is it was getting increasingly less yield after I shook it through this thing. I was getting a ton of the fine stuff, and I started noticing other people are having similar problems. And I tried the new and improved Cocoa Blocks, and I was like, holy shit, it's like night and day. But to be honest, it doesn't matter, like, in my opinion, what the fuck you use. If you like what you like. Like, I like the smaller stuff too. But like, I'm gonna start buying Repchip for the babies because I think it's better for them. Because this stuff's too fucking thick for the little ones. I just don't think.
Yeah,
you know.
That was my big thing. And I mean, again, I don't care who uses what. It doesn't matter to me. I think they're both good products. I like Repchip is what we use here. I like the finer stuff. I don't like the big chunky blocks. I feel like the finer fibers help with shedding and things like that. Like I've noticed if I use really blocky stuff, some of my hatchlings, especially like you said, kind of just get lost in it.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the adults had like not bad sheds, but just harder time coming off in pieces, not coming off as consistently. And then I just like the company. To be honest, I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. It's who you are wanting to stand behind as a company. And I don't think just because you use one over the other means like you hate Freedom Breeder or you hate JT. Like I'm not on board with that.
Yeah, neither. They're both. I like them both.
I do too. I think they're both. You know.
Yeah, but for me, JT is like, you know, he was Captain Tomlinson when I was Private Hernandez. Both paratroopers in the 82nd Airborne Division. So that's a man that obviously I'll die for. So it's like, good luck buying my loyalty, man.
I'll tell you right now. No, and dude, to your point, to that exact point, I wish Repchip had the same shit because I would switch over in a heartbeat because I like what the company stands for. I've seen interviews with him. I've never met him, but I respect him as a person and what he has to say and what he thinks about things and what he's done. For the country. So to me, that's who I want to give my money to.
Yeah. Okay? Well, give us till October. We might have some things cooking.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, you know how the industry is, man. There's stuff always coming out. Look at Ryan McVeigh and VivTech with those badass fucking UV lights, man.
Yep.
That's some like next level stuff.
Yeah, to the business side, there's so many untapped avenues in this industry. Like, because you have Freedom Breeder and ARS, doesn't mean somebody else can't come through, manufacture them for a lot cheaper, and sell, or make less of a profit and still build a business on that. There's so much to be done. Like with Coco, that company that came out in Canada, you know, there needs to be a rack company that comes out in Canada, just like Freedom Breeder and ARS.
Yeah, I know.
And they would smash.
Yeah, they would.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We just built our own maternity racks, right? Like we just built our own. We bought a Freedom Breeder used, and I love Freedom Breeder racks. And eventually, I'd love to switch over to all metal racks, but to pay $3,000 to $4,000 for a rack to hold 30 females just isn't feasible in the rodent business, at least for us at this moment, right? So we ended up building our own maternity racks. They literally are exactly the same. They're just wooden, you know, instead of metal.
I honestly don't like the Freedom Breeder racks, because I don't like the magnetized rack, and I don't like the cost.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's
insane.
We have a Freedom Breeder 1040 and a hybrid, you know, ARS 730. And I think I'll be sticking with ARS from now on. I mean, get 2 racks for the price of 1.
Exactly.
The only thing, and my biggest thing when I first bought the Freedom Breeder was the tabletop, which I'm glad that I have now. Now, I do believe ARS is coming out with one, though, last I heard.
Yeah, I saw a picture of an ARS rack.
And then, the second thing at the time was removable toppers. I like to be able to take my toppers out, wipe them down, put them back in. And ARS has that now. So they didn't 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yep. So
these are all new.
Yes, yeah. The removable toppers and the tabletop wasn't an option when I just got this one about 6 months ago. But I love it. You know, I mean, they're a pain in the ass to fucking put together. That was bullshit. But other than that, they're wonderful racks.
They're
They
tedious.
well. They're yes, they are.
Easy to just.
It's not difficult. It's just it's a lot. Yeah. But yeah, you know, and they hold temps well. They're consistent. I like them. I think they're a good rack. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think, you know, like you said, there's so many untapped. I mean, just Husbandry Pro is a great example, I think, too.
Oh,
like so many people have tried to make a record keeping system online or on your phone.
Bucks?
Yeah.
What was that one that was $25?
Reptile Scan.
Reptile Scan. Yeah, I remember that.
And that had a lot of really good concepts, but it had a lot more flaws.
Yeah.
Where it was just difficult to use. I bought Herper Pro, which hadn't been supported for like 15 years when I got into the industry, but I just wanted something, and that was another one. So there's always new stuff coming out, growing, improving, and I think there's a lot of untapped potential of what things that people need in this industry that people just aren't looking at. Because it's not the fun stuff, right? It's not the crazy animals or the oh my gosh, look what this person's doing. You know, it's definitely something I think that gets used and recognized, but it's not going to be something that everyone's like, holy crap, so and so made this snake or made the, you know, it's not the thing that gets all the hype.
Yeah, and you're right, but the thing is people that are in there every day and have enough snakes to justify being in their room every day and working with them. And like just with me, like with construction, I love when new tools, like seeing new tools, I'm like, oh, that'd be fucking rad and make this task a lot easier, whatever it is for any hobby I have. So I think it's the same thing where I see something, you know, that's can revolutionize the way you do things, and I think it's rad. But not everybody. You like how I worked that in right there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You're the first one, man. I was like, God damn, it's about fucking time. 6 months later, dude.
Right, exactly. But just like you said, it takes the person to go do it, right? Just because you're like, oh, this tool would make it so much easier. I'm sure 100 people or 1,000 people have had that thought, but who's willing to take the step, right, to get the ball rolling?
Just like the snakes, like, dude, you gotta fucking take risks because nothing's just gonna come at a comfortable, like, at a comfortable pace. Nothing, you know, you're not just gonna be like, okay, well, let me dip my feet in the water and then it turns into success. You've got to invest some. There's got to be some risk, and the same thing with somebody if they were to start their own rack company. If you know how to spot weld, then I don't know, start figuring out how you can get some steel and figure out how to spot weld and slowly do it. Yep. You know, the holster thing I was doing, those other people doing it, but my shit was coming out really good and I built up a following pretty quick and I was doing really well. I just couldn't scale up. So I shelved it. But, you know, there is the money factor, but there's also like, just fucking do it. Like, just do it and don't half-ass it. Like, try and do it as fully as you can.
Yep.
Because you half-ass it. You know, oh, well, let me just get a couple snakes, see how it goes. Okay, well, you just ate up 2 years trying to figure out what the fuck you're going to do. You know? So why not? I don't know. Everyone's got limitations. I understand that. And I totally get that. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, just fucking sack up and find the money because it's not possible sometimes. Yep. But sometimes it is and people don't realize it, you know?
Well, you know, have you ever met Jose from Grab Your Balls?
Yeah.
So the reason why his company is called that is Jose is a pretty how do I say
straightforward.
Oh no, I'm trying to say something.
He likes to grab his dick a lot.
Pretty
right.
I'm trying to say something that's like
isn't that a good time to pause, Brandon? There's a lot of different directions that this can go.
Yeah. I'm trying to say something semi-insulting without being a fucking asshole because I like Jose. Jose didn't come into the industry with a lot of financial backing. So he's like, every time I buy a snake, I have to grab my fucking balls because that's an investment. Because he lives in the hood. He lives in the fucking projects. Plus he got kids, you know, and he's working like multiple jobs. Plus he's doing the snake. I mean, he's grinded because he wants it. And that's the bottom line is if you really want it, you'll find a way. Dude, you just fucking took your retirement. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Going in.
Yeah, fuck it. Because life's not guaranteed and fuck it. But I mean, I was talking about this last night, you know, I was talking about this with Billy actually last night. It's like people don't know his backstory. I'm not going to be the one to say it, but that dude didn't just have it easy. Like that dude's overcame a lot of shit, and
yeah.
not a lot of people know because he hasn't advertised it. But at the same time, you know, there's ways to do it. Get a second job, work fucking. There's opportunities out there.
Everywhere.
Yeah, sell
Everywhere.
some shit. Like do without some shit. Like there are ways if you want it bad enough. If you don't, then don't complain when it doesn't come your way. And you know,
I feel like I'm, beating it at a horse because we talk about it all the time, but people always ask me, 24, how are you where we're kind of at in the industry now? And everything I own is in this room.
Yeah.
Like,
all my money's
couch
right
I
there.
got $200 off of Marketplace. My dining room table was given to me. The 4 chairs don't match.
Same here.
It's like the most expensive thing I own probably outside of this room is like my bed. And I'm just, because it's my bed. Like I work hard. I want to fucking sleep good at night. Like that is my only stipulation. But, and my daughter's room, I should say that. Like she's spoiled. She has everything. But as far as like us personally, right? I drive a 2000 Chevy Silverado with no air conditioning in the Midwest in the summer. Like, like it's bad, but you have to see the bigger picture, right? We're putting everything into this knowing that, we're even in this 6 years now.
Well, that's the thing too. Like,
on
paper, when you look at, let's just say people are getting into it now and they're faced with this obstacle of it's going to be a year or two before I start seeing any income. Yeah. That's daunting. I get it. However, if you were to look at somebody's investment and say, they invested X amount, or let's say they invested 100K and made it back in 2 years, you'd be like, fuck, that was quick. So on paper, it's not a big deal, but people look at it and they get deterred by that. And it's like, you can't you got to take one step at a time, just like anything else, whether it's boot camp for you, I'm sure it's just like, I'll leave when I'm done. I'm done when I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm done when I'm done.
I'm not going to look at the big picture, like, why am I not here? What's going to take 10 years? You know what I mean? It's going to take time. You just one day at a time, and people don't have that mindset. And I understand it, but I also don't understand why they complain if they don't have it. So.
Yes.
People are, the human race is an unsatisfiable creature. We want what we can't have, and we never have what we want. We're never satisfied, and that's why we complain. But people, I think, like, who come from humble beginnings are always grateful for the most minuscule things. And it's just that mentality, like you were saying, the mindset. You got to come into this with that mindset. Like Miguel said, if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby.
100%.
If you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
never being satisfied is not always a bad thing if you harness that energy into growing. You know what I mean?
If you get too comfortable where you're at, you never move forward.
Yeah, you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. So this is just a podcast full of insightful
dude, this is very inspirational,
this is
bro.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, this is what we try. We could come out here. Yeah, we could come out with all the simple, like, how do you breed? What is but everyone's talking about that. We want to talk about the part of this that most people aren't. We've decided we just kind of come out here and we just talk. Like that's really about it.
Yeah, we want set questions because there's like people who obviously have particular bases of knowledge that some other people, don't have. But and things curious, like the investment question. That was totally something I was curious about because I looked at your page and I was like, okay. My girlfriend looked at your page and was like, oh, his first post was like 2020. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way down. I was like, that looks like a fire spider in a tank.
It was just a spider.
Okay,
male.
Just a spider. Male. I thought it was a male. It had a boy name. And as I scroll up, I'm like, okay, I could see where your mind is changing, where the gears are turning, and where you started making moves. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is going to be a good interview. I really want to know, where's this mindset going.
I can remember, meeting Andrew at Arlington, right? We just met this past, what would that have been? November? October? whatever Arlington was.
This
Oh,
past Arlington?
No, that was
It was spring.
April.
It was the spring
April.
Arlington. That's right. Yeah. So just in April.
Yeah.
I bought a box of snakes with me and put it underneath Troy's table. So thank you, Troy. And pulled it out and, was talking to some people. And I remember Andrew coming up and, we had talked a little bit on Instagram and Facebook. I didn't necessarily put two and two together, like Andrew with Redwood Reptiles, or I'm really bad about putting faces to the logo. That's why I like shows so much. And we started talking. I just remember kind of being like, who the hell is this guy? Like, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Definitely talking about killer animals, dropping some knowledge. And we got to talking. And then you actually ended up buying a couple KRG animals off of me.
Yeah. And the KRG is something I've been interested in since I first got into this. I saw KRG pied. And I remember I was looking through Morph Market like incessantly trying to find KRG shit. And I couldn't at the time. For the following couple months, I couldn't. So, and I don't know how, but I think David Cease knew that I was interested in them.
Yep.
And he's the one that kind of pointed me in the direction, and I was super excited. So I'm very grateful for that. But
yeah,
I love it. I think.
Thank you.
Think it's so on. I mean, I know people say it's about a lot of genes, but I think that one is so untapped as far as like just enhancing the shit out of something. I don't know.
Everything. Yeah.
It's still a really new morph.
It's like a code. It's codon, whatever the fuck it is. It's like a codon recessive or desert ghost codon because it goes through the darks and lights. The lights, it adds contrast, so it's it's awesome. And I love that not a lot of people like it.
Yeah,
because they will.
I know. When I got into that project 4 years ago now, and I had kind of just started out, like it was one of my first big investment animals is $1,000. All right. This is where we were at that point, right? I was like, man, I'm dropping some money on this thing.
Well, that's still a paycheck. That's like a paycheck snake still.
Yeah, I was what, 20 at the time. So working for not much, but so I invested into it and I got ridiculed hardcore by so many people about how that was such a stupid move and it's only inchy and it's not even a real gene and that was like the worst thing I could have ever done. I should never have spent my money on it. I mean, just any insult you could get about a project. Like I got my ass handed to me, and this is coming from some people that I really respected in the industry at the time too, and I was like, fuck, I bought this animal, maybe I shouldn't have. But I mean, now they won't even talk to me about it. Like I bring it up, I'll send them animals now and they just don't even answer, and I'm like,
yeah, you're not going to address that. You're not
going to say nothing about this. Yeah. But it's been awesome. It's been an amazing project. Jim Holt, so I got my original animals from, he's done nothing but good things for the project as a whole. If you guys haven't checked him out, Andrew, I think I might have sent the pictures to you, but I don't know if I did. Have I sent you the leopard KRG orange dream clown? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the leopard KRG orange dream clown?
Yeah. It's not mine. It was Jim Holt.
David might have showed me that one.
Maybe, yeah. But he's
it looks better than a Batman.
Huh?
It looks better than a Batman.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw it. It does look better than the Batman.
Yep.
Sick.
Yes, yeah. So give you shit for huffing and hypo,
Just Chris Eaton.
Yes, it's amazing. So it's been a great project. I haven't thrown it at anything yet that I've just been like, oh man, I wish that didn't have KRG. I thought it was going to do something different. It's such a malleable gene. It is not overpowering for anything, but it has enough emphasis that nothing drowns it out, right? And I think you picked up one of my favorite animals that I produced last year. Like if that thing would have been female, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. But you picked up the KRG GHI, lesser pastel boy.
Yeah.
That thing is just insane how it didn't take over GHI and GHI didn't take over it. And I think that's when KRG really, really sparked for me. Because you see GHI either gets completely overpowered, like we see with Mojave, right? Where it just completely drowns it out. Or like GHI pins, you can hardly even tell there's pin in it. Like GHI just completely drowns it, something that's usually super overpowering to other morphs. So the fact that they were able to actually work together, I was like, this is it. This is going to be big.
Well, I think that's like a good sign of a good gene, because you got something that can balance out something that's either hot or cold. So, so why wouldn't you want to play around with that? And my thing was, you know, that pastel has those pied markers, that pastel KRG, and that's such a sick looking animal, even though it's just, you know, those two genes. But so, and even though I didn't see a bunch of markers on the GHI boy, however, I love the just something about the way the GHI was outlined and what it did to the color. I was like, I want to play around with this, even though I don't have it, you know. So I'm excited to explore it. I'm excited I got into it big time. When I saw that you had those, I was stoked. So thank you for hooking me up.
Of course. I'm super excited to see where you go with it. And you've got the power to do whatever you want with it, really. You know, you've got enough other ammo in your arsenal, right, to make it work. So
this is it right here. Yeah,
it's the pastel.
Yeah. So if you flip that guy, it's really hard to see in that picture, and he's just hard to photograph. He's kind of a pain. But if you look at that, where that guy's head and neck come together, he's got like this big white ringer that goes like halfway up the neck.
Like
and then
right where this
it's really hard to tell on that, but the blacks are like jet black. And that blushing really comes through. And same thing on the GHI is that unless you're in person, it's hard to really, I guess I didn't pick it up great on camera, but it's so, I love the contrast. Like the contrast that animal, that gene throws is rad. And that's what I was telling you. I can't wait to get into some sunset stuff. And hopefully it can do the same thing for that, because obviously nobody likes how it browns out, but some don't. Like the female, one of the sunsets I have that hasn't browned out, and you know,
I know. So your sunset girl is really nice. I remember looking through your stuff, looking for pictures, and thinking that it was super sweet.
Look at that.
Yeah, pastel puzzle pies, guys.
Yeah, I've never seen those, so I'm excited.
Same.
I'm excited. They've locked up quite a bit. Actually, that Gotham female, well, I know it's technically Gotham's Coral Glow, but she's banana leopard clown. She's got blade in there too. Yeah. I tried to pair with 3 different snakes. None of them would take. And I got an enhancer head clown from Billy, and they locked up like the first night.
Nice.
So if I can get some visual clown head enhancers.
For
and
sure.
It's 66% G stripe, so we'll see if it carries over. But
even better.
Yeah.
Super chocolate butter hypo. Holy.
I know. I saw that. We'll pull that up in a second. Not to backtrack here a little bit, but this is one of my favorite. This is the snake. This is your boy, right in the bottom right-hand corner here. This is one of my favorite comparison pictures for KRG. So this girl right here is a GHI vanilla lesser pastel, and this is a GHI KRG lesser pastel. So the only difference between these animals is you replace vanilla with KRG. And I just love it because you can see how much KRG cleans like vanilla would clean, but it keeps those blacks like really black.
It doesn't get blended out.
Yep.
That's the biggest issue in ball pythons, is finding like genes that don't bleed. You want them to do, but don't do it too much.
They don't bleed. Yeah.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone say that, but they don't bleed. It's like sunsets can bleed, but that one Brad Boa produced that has all bright colors, but they don't freaking bleed, at least not yet. Yep. Holy shit. Like, that's contrast with bright colors. That's insane. When you can keep those, if they can hold, that's rad. But
and I think your plan to take KRG to it is going to hold it as it gets older. I think, because it just does. KRG just keeps that integrity almost, right, of like the colors and pattern, right? It doesn't allow everything to just blend together.
And I think what I'm gonna put, I have a Mandarin ODYB Enchi male.
I saw that too.
So I'm gonna put that to Sunset, that female Sunset.
Yes.
And then that's so long term. That's kind of what I want to put that one of those KRGs to, is that whatever some offspring from that
comes out of yes,
yeah, dude.
Or even obviously I'd like to get some visuals, but so I'd like to incorporate some bright genes into the Sunset along with the KRG. So I've got to figure out how to do that. But it's exciting.
It's for the girlfriend. She's watching right now.
Oh.
They're still in that fun little stage where everything is so cute.
We're gonna be there forever. What do you mean? All right, so now, Andrew, I want your opinion. I want your opinion on I want to talk about futuristic products, since we talked about avenues of approach in this industry and how you can take this. There's so many different avenues as per business. Merchandise. Look at Debbie with Reptiles too, doing her own shipping thing. I mean, so many. Well, let's talk about some stuff that is futuristic, like the lights at VivTech or the fucking Herps, the new Herps tattoo with the Wi-Fi.
Spiderweb thing?
Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing.
That's sick.
I will be transferring everything over. I bought a few just to kind of try them out, and the features that they have, 100% we'll be switching everything over.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my favorite thermostats. So I still have to get them, but I have a Herpstat 2 right now, but I've got to get some of those spiderweb ones.
Dude.
I want to get 2 of them because I want to split. I have one Herpstat 2 for both racks. So yeah. So I want to split. I want one for each, so I can have 2 zones on each one. Yep. So my males are starting to climb up from the bottom. KRG puzzle. Exactly.
Yeah, that would be.
So that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Max, because I have a clutch coming that I could have some visual puzzles, and that's exactly what I was thinking about putting that thing to. So that's I forgot about that. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Puzzle takes color really well, and how KRG is just so I think it's gonna make it really orange. Just
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if or how it affects any of the pattern at all, because KRG makes things very consistent. Like even in GHI, right? It makes it very consistent without completely banding out the animal. So I'll be interested to see if it adds some symmetry to puzzle or if it just completely leaves the pattern alone, which we've seen happen too, and then kind of just helps with the coloring.
I would love it if it added some symmetry.
Yeah.
One of the nicest snakes I've ever seen, I think Chris Hounds at Davenport, DS Balls. He has the same puzzle I have, just with yellow belly. So it's a banana pastel yellow belly puzzle. Dude, I don't know. I saw it, as a baby, but I don't know if he kept those colors. But the purples and oranges in it were fucking nuts, and that I got really excited because of that. But if I can see, but it had a lot of symmetry. If I can see some more symmetry where there's color inside the pattern.
Yep.
Dude, that's rad. If you can get a snake with pattern, I don't, just blotches of color, popping.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think it will.
That on a dark background. Oh.
I think it'll add the color. And now that we've seen KRG with banana, holy hell. You would talk about purple. I mean, these things are the color of my hair, and I just can't capture it on camera. But they are literally this color purple. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, I haven't even seen that.
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
She's hold on, let me.
hold on, I got it.
You see.
Show me. No, it's badass. That I think Puzzle and Sunset would be pretty fucking badass too.
We'll see. Antoine's got them double hats. He said the male's already breeding. Oh shit!
Ooh, nice. Oh, that
Look at that head. That's just banana KRG.
This is a banana, leopard, phantom, KRG, yellow belly.
Oh shit! It's got a lot of stuff there, but that's rad.
That's why
it does.
That's
Man.
fucking nuts.
But look, I mean, it's the same color as my door. Like, look at this right here.
Imagine like a purple and yellow clown. How sick that
It's
would be.
literally the same color.
I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same shade.
Yes,
I would say it's the same shade. Yeah, absolutely.
but it's crazy. I even had I did hit just the banana Mojave KRG version,
Mhm.
which she's still, I mean,
Those oranges by the belly are bright.
Oranges, yep.
Yeah, the belly flaming.
I would say that the leopard definitely adds like another dimension to it.
And
right
if you look
in
at the body halfway down, the alien heads are all symmetrical.
The KRG adds all this consistency, which I just love.
Yep.
Or I just call it symmetry, right? Because it's literally the same. Yeah. And then this is KRG Leopard Phantom Yellow Belly.
I like that a lot. You know, I like dark shit though, but yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's exciting, and that's another thing too. Is like everyone thinks they're behind, but if you can jump in and get into some cool shit, like you're not behind, and nobody's gonna satisfy the market. So like, there's so much happening right now, and so many things that people are making that we've never seen, and like that stuff you just showed. It's like, and that's not even like a super popular project, KRG. I don't know a lot of people that are into it.
And it's also not something that's like super difficult to make. I mean, there's a lot at play there, right? But it's not like it's even a visual or a double recessive, you know, 2 or 3 codoms on top. Like that's literally all it is. So
that was some like leopard spot nose, clown pied, fire ODYB.
Yeah, you know, that was it was a KRG Leopard Phantom Yellow Belly pied to a banana Mojave. So, I mean, the male was packing some pretty big heat, but the female was just...
Well, that's how you wanted a lot of
2-gene girl, you know?
The male had some stick.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, if you could get it that powerful on both ends, fucking tits. But if not, I mean...
The hardest thing right now with KRG and what I'm trying to do is, I wouldn't say it's hard to identify because it's pretty obvious, right? But we haven't seen a lot of the building block combos. So it can kind of be difficult to tell what exactly all is at play. So right now I'm trying to keep that boundary between making cool, valuable, you know, animals that people are going to want to add to their collection without throwing so much into one animal that I'm like, I don't know. Like, it could be any of these.
Well, what's one of the things that I thought about is I've always wanted to, and KRG was like something I've been tossing around back and forth. So I'm kind of glad you brought it up. But I want to get some very basic animals and just breed those males to it. So like, get a yellow belly female, get an inchy female.
Yes.
Oh, so you can see.
Yeah, and then obviously it's a long-term plan or project that I'd be working towards something. Just seeing it on my, seeing like an orange dream interaction or whatever.
Well, that's something like, that's a way you give back to the industry. You make those combos, you put them on World of Ball Python, so people can look it up. Yeah, I know, if they ever update their fucking shit.
I've said so much stuff in there.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, yeah, no, that's a good thing, man. I like that because that's not a lot of people think that way. You know, you're looking at a very bigger picture instead of having that tunnel vision. You know.
Yeah, and that's what do you got there?
So I was gonna say last one, I promise, before we can move on from KRG. But this is a KRG Lesser Black Pastel Yellow Belly.
Sick.
Male or female?
Male, and he is for sale. In case anyone would just say. Huh?
Is he on Morph Market?
Yeah.
Shit.
But when you said yellow belly, like just getting this was a KRG Black Pastel Lesser cat pie to a yellow belly female. Like that that was just it. So you can definitely make some really crazy animals.
Well, I think it's a gene that's worth doing that for, like taking the time to do it, because I'm sure, Jim Holt and whoever, there was somebody else that was working on it, but I'm sure they've done stuff like that, or I've done it, but it's not real common info and it's not readily available. So I'm super curious. I think it's a gene worthy of having like a side thing for it.
For sure.
It's a badass.
I like to show people So I have this guy. All right, this is KRG Black Pastel Lesser without the yellow belly,
Oh wow, yellow belly changes.
and then that is when you throw.
You see, yeah, look at this, the dorsal pattern. So like,
And the orange,
yeah, so
it
to what Max
enhances
was
the
saying
yellow
too.
belly orange. You know.
Yeah, what Max was saying too. If you put that with puzzle, if that can brighten up those patterns on the back, that'd be rad.
Yeah, so definitely a lot to be done.
Oh, okay. I found it. Black pastel, lesser yellow belly, KRG.
Yeah.
Posset hide, but
he is posset.
I do see on the end of that tail there, it looks
so,
like it's trying to ringer.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually het pied in KRG has a really big, pretty good influence. Like you've seen it with that pastel.
I have seen it
KRG
too.
that you have, Andrew. I mean,
yeah.
If you look at a normal pastel het pied, they don't look anything like that as far as het pied influence goes. The other animal that I produced in that clutch that was the same thing, KRG, lesser black pastel, yellow belly, posset pied. I thought I had a good picture of him, but we actually did the live clutch cutting before a live one time. We thought it was a super stripe, so we were super confused, but it had so many ringers and was so reduced that it just throws some big stuff. This guy is posset pied.
Yeah. Posset pied.
Yeah. So
what?
Yep, posset pied.
Yeah, this is a
champagne or something?
No, this is a KRG lesser black pastel fire calico posset pied.
And that's a male as well, right?
This is a male as well. I'm actually thinking about possibly letting this guy go. I haven't decided yet. I have too many males. I kept way too much back.
Do you know what's making it look like a pied?
The het influence.
Calico and het.
That looks like a damn low white pied.
Yeah,
it does.
My male, my KRG lesser black pastel male had a huge ringer like this.
Are you sure it's not actually just pied?
The pairing was to a firefly calico, so I don't think so.
Hidden pied-seas?
Not that I know of. And Jim has one too. Let me see if I can find it. We can keep talking here and I'll pull it up.
Oh, so Ember's ball pythons has a KRG Enchi bamboo 50% het pied for sale as well.
Mm-hmm.
And KRG actually manipulated the bamboo's pattern pretty well.
Really?
That's
there's a few people working it with it pretty heavy right now.
Because I work bamboo and I only know one mutation that can really manipulate that pattern, and that's like calico. Cinnamon a little bit too, but I'm looking at it right now, man, on my phone, and KRG Enchi bamboo. Oh man, that thing is pretty fucking badass. Yeah, and KRG Enchi pinstripe. It's bright yellow. Like I don't even think the camera will be able to focus.
Oh wow.
But it's that yellow. KRG Enchi pinstripe.
Yeah, so, I can't. That animal's really pretty. I've seen it.
Yeah, that thing is sick, dude.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, you're good.
Chaos balls. We're just over here fucking around. Sorry,
talking about KRG. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't like KRG. Fuck you. How about that?
You don't own KRG.
I don't own it, but I like it. It's pretty sweet.
I love it.
It is a pretty nice.
We need to change that, by the way.
What, give me some KRG?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about it. I was like, fuck, man. I got 2 more racks coming in. Once those racks come in, I could probably get one. Hell yeah, Troy. Fanboy that up, boy.
Yeah, for anyone that didn't know. Or is it okay if I say something, Troy? Maybe I shouldn't.
No, we'll wait for him to reply. Maybe he's changing his shirt.
Oh, no. I'm not giving him the satisfaction.
No.
I'll change it on my own terms.
I love it.
Troy said
I totally thought that's what you were gonna. That's what I thought, Troy. I just wanted to make sure. For you guys that don't know, Troy is the one who picked up that KRG Banana Leopard Phantom Yellow Belly Het Pied boy, and he's a female maker. On top of it.
Fuck. Man, you remember when I said earlier about Troy being one of my best friends in the industry? I still stand by that statement. I love you.
And I'm going to open up, too. I picked up an Inchy Pinstripe Double Het Monarch Pied Pos Het Clown male from Troy. So here we go. This is the hell I was looking for. So this is the same exact thing as my boy. It's just... Oops, shit, wrong screen.
Holy shit.
It's just, so this is a KRG Black Pastel Lesser Het Pied.
Okay, so the Het Pied really does influence the KRG.
Yep.
Jesus.
And then I also, this is a Cinnamon Orange Dream KRG Het Pied.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Where's your question, Matt? Oh, yeah, my bad. There we go.
There you go.
Hey!
Nice!
There you go.
Where am I at with getting KRG into Monarch?
That's a good question.
It is a really good question, and I wish I was a lot closer to it.
That's why I need a female KRG.
Yeah, I wish I was a lot closer to it. So, probably a year or two, I would say. So not crazy far. I've got a couple girls that should be ready to go here in the next, not this season, but the following season. I've got like a KRG Black Pewter Fire female. One thing, Andrew, when I tell everyone, and I don't think they're bad looking snakes, it's just different, right? So if you put KRG with Black Pastel and Fire, you make a cookies and cream.
Okay.
Interesting.
So they're not allelic. They've been, it's not like allelic with Fire, because if you just put a KRG to a Fire, you get a reduced looking animal. You don't get like a black-eyed Lucy or anything like that. Jim has a proven breeder male, so even if, say, it was allelic, but you didn't get a black-eyed Lucy out of it, you don't get all KRGs or all Fires. They can both be passed on, or you can get normals, things like that. So not allelic, but definitely.
I think it's pretty cool looking, though.
It is. It's not bad. It's definitely not. Whew.
And genetically, it's powerful.
Yeah, it's just different, right? Like, it's not the outcome you would expect, which is not always a bad thing. But yeah.
Well, that's the best part about a new project or a new gene, man.
Yep.
Is you don't know the outcome. Like, that's how the coolest snakes are made. You're not there for the money. I mean, the money's going to come one way or the other. But if you're excited about making cool snakes, dude, that's how the baddest shit is made.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I love it with Black Pastel Pie. I don't know if this is picking up how orange.
That's KRG Black Pastel Piebald?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if it's there we go. Look how
I can tell.
It's got that like Barnhart orange.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yo, that's pretty fucking tits. I like it. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I've had a rough couple of days.
So lots of good things to come with the KRG stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, me some KRG. Liz, we talk every day, so.
Yes.
We'll talk.
All right.
I'll see what kind of males you want to let go. We need to get these set questions underway because we only got 40 minutes left.
I know.
Shit. Let's go. No,
I've got one that I threw in there, Brandon, so it won't be on here. Andrew, are you Team Monarch or Team Ultramel?
Oh, my God.
Come on, man. Don't let me down, dude.
I am not experienced enough in Monarch to know, but if you had to pick and I was going to die, go Team Ultramel.
Fuck!
No.
I know.
Not the answer we wanted, Andrew.
So wait, I will say this. The first Monarchs, I saw a couple in Arlington, and I was very impressed. And they're not they remind me of like Sunset and what was the other one? The Mandarin. Like if you see it in person, it's different. The camera sucks.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like with monarchs, I've never seen a photographed one that looks badass. Like they look cool, they look nice.
I'm getting it, Brandon. I'm getting it.
I have the best monarch photo.
No, I totally agree
anyone's
with
ever
you
seen.
there, Andrew. As far as photographing monarchs sucks. They are so
It's hard.
they are so bright and dark in the same animal that the camera can only
But
they can only focus on the orange or the dark. Like it's like the camera can't focus on one or the other.
Did you see the Ultramel sunset?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what would make it look better?
No.
It was a monarch sunset.
Nobody knows. Hold on.
Nobody knows.
I think that the monarch is it's one of those weird things that when you see the person, the colors aren't strikingly different. Well, that's badass.
So all right, that is a perfect visual representation of what that animal looks like. I produced it. I sent it to Brandon. He photographed it.
What is it?
It's a pastel monarch.
I have it, right?
That's fucking rad.
Keep that picture up, Liz, because this dude is actually within arm's reach right now.
Hold on. I will say this. Can I
Yeah, you can
throw
talk.
a caveat in there?
You talk.
Okay. My caveat is that the base gene, I go Team Monarch all day.
See, this is what the camera makes.
All right.
That's what it really looks like.
So base gene, if you go Ultramel versus Monarch, just the base gene, I'd take Monarch for sure.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so what I was going to say was there's been a lot more things done with Ultramel than with Monarch. So it's very hard for me to see some of these combos of Ultramel and go on Team Monarch when I haven't seen it. But I don't doubt that it's going to be rad. I just I also don't have any Ultramel. I don't have any Monarch. I don't have either one. So
yeah, it's just buy Monarch, man.
So yeah, I was gonna say I've never been super interested in the Sunset Project. I like it.
Yeah.
Way more the last season than I did a couple years ago because the first one that I saw was nice looking out of the egg, but turned shit brown pretty much, you know. And then the Hypo Sunset came out, and I was like, all right, that's badass. And then I saw it 2 months later and was like, no. So the Sunset's been a tricky one for me, but one thing that I have always wanted to do is put Monarch into Sunset. I think it would truly be a complete game changer, not just for Sunset, but probably for Monarch too. So I've seen the Ultramel Sunset, super cool, super bright fluorescent orange, which I think is awesome. But I think the Monarch would add dimension almost to it.
I can see that.
It would give it that bright orange, but it would also give it that almost like maroon undertone, so there'd almost be depth to it instead of it just being like orange.
Yeah, if you could, I mean, I'm just thinking like, and then thinking about throwing like a desert. I know it sounds like I'm gonna hit a fucking 19 recessive gene, but think about that with Desert Ghost and cleaning it up, and holy shit, it might be something special.
KRG.
Or KRG.
Yeah. You know,
But
I don't think KRG is the next Desert Ghost, but if you want something that's going to clean it up without having to hit like another visual recessive, I think KRG is going to be pretty damn close.
Oh,
to be honest with you, like one of the things I've wanted to invest, I've been thinking about is the Ultramel Monarch thing. But if you're looking at it, so, and this is where I get hung up, it's on saying, yeah, Team Ultramel, just as far as what I've seen. However, when I saw those Monarchs in person, I was impressed, and it's very hard to describe what is so special about them, but I see it, and I also know that as far as an investment stance, it makes way more sense to go with Monarch because Ultramel is really devalued, and I don't mean to sound like just a numbers guy, but you can get a visual for $400, like, or it's like
it's cheap,
and I'm not saying that you don't like it because it's cheap, but the reason why it's cheap is because people have worked the shit out of it and made some really awesome stuff, but you have a lot less avenues to go down to explore with Ultramel than you do with Monarch. And so I think that obviously the Monarch has a lot to go. I think, like you said, to Sunset, it makes sense. If
Yeah.
you can put it into some other bright codons too. I mean, holy shit. Like an orange, super orange, or like an orange and yellow belly monarch or something like that. Like,
yeah, I've got Cypress in my monarch stuff, which I'm super
really?
excited about. Yeah. And
You have
then
a lot of monarch stuff.
yeah, I've been in the project for 4 years now.
Damn.
Yeah. So I just shed out today. I'm kind of waiting to show it because I know it doesn't look as good as what it's going to look like in about a couple months.
Yeah.
So I might set out a little teaser, but I did just hatch out a Firefly Calico Monarch.
Oh, wow.
That thing looks pretty badass. Yeah, so I've got some stuff brewing. Brandon and I have a female that, well, it's his female. He sent me a DG Lemon Blast female. She just ovulated about a week ago. That's my pastel Monarch male. So I've got Monarch into GG now.
Oh, wow.
Good in about 75 days.
I cannot fucking wait 2 years from now.
Yeah, and then I have a pastel Monarch female that I produced last year, so she'll be ready to go here in a couple of years. And I have a DG Orange Dream Mario Spot Nose male.
Sweet.
That will be seeing her first season. Then by the time those hatch, it'll all line up to where
That's a badass male.
Yeah.
I love the Mario stuff.
Yeah, it's
Orange Dream and Desert Ghost. Those Orange Dreams Super OD DGs that Miguel produced.
Yes.
Holy
crisp.
shit. Yeah.
So crisp.
It's insane. I can't get over him. So that's pretty awesome male right there. She got a lineup. See, I gotta get into Monarch.
Yes.
You know what else I've been debating
I'll hook
lately?
you up.
Okay, then there you go. I'm in.
Yeah.
Team Monarch. Fuck Ultramel.
See, there it is.
That's right.
Forest pythons, just to answer your questions, we've had this up here.
Yes,
As far as we know, they are different genes, and if you breed them together, you're going to get double recessives. Now, I was told this by someone in the UK. However, I did not see the animal with my own eyes.
Right.
It was a word of mouth. I don't want to say the person's name, but they're super, super reputable. Like, if you look them up, you would know who they are. So
as far as I know, Monarch and Ultramel are not compatible. It is always, I was just about to click on that, Brandon. It's always produced double hets or normals that are double het Monarch, Ultramel. Yeah. There is some rumors going around that someone put Burgundy, which is supposedly compatible with Monarch, to Ultramel and produce visuals, but they haven't been able to provide pictures. So that to me is always a red flag, right? Like if someone, it's almost like someone putting like a really big right now, right? Is like Hurricane Blitz and Trick, right? Like I put Hurricane to Blitz and I got Super Hurricanes. Okay, cool. There's the picture. Well, I'm not sending out pictures. It's like, all right, cool. Well, until
don't send them out.
Show me the animal. Yeah.
I'm investing in a Hurricane. Don't send out those pictures.
Exactly. So I have a clutch right now that's due on the 25th. It's my Pastel Monarch to a GHI Pastave. So I do have it in GHI. I also have Black Pastel in my Monarch stuff. Brandon has his male going to a kick-ass blackhead.
Yeah, mine's going to, right now my male is going to a blackhead calico.
Yep.
And Enchi OD vanilla, a clown, and I'm thinking I might put it to the Bongo Mojave Yellow Belly Red Gene Ringer Gene. I don't know if I want to stretch him to a fourth girl yet. I'm like, we'll see, because he just started producing plugs. I don't want to push him crazy hard. So we'll see. Yeah.
Another project I've been debating.
What do you
getting into this year is the Stranger thing, the Stranger
Gene.
So
let's talk about that. Go ahead. I want to listen.
So you know who got me hooked into that?
Who?
Was Jason Amos in Arlington.
Oh,
so
really?
When we went to dinner, I sat across from him and we were talking about it for probably like an hour plus, and he was showing me picture after picture after picture on his phone. And I had no skin in any of that Stranger Mahogany game, but he was showing me the same. He did a great presentation because he had a bunch of different same combinations, just replaced Monarch. I'm sorry,
Mahogany with Stranger. Yep, I got you.
And stark differences, and even like Antoine was saying the same thing because we were both looking at it, and we both, that talking to him is what kind of got us the gears turning on that project. So I'm not like diehard for it. I am very interested in getting into it, but I'm not like just, you know, selling my body to get it right now. But you know what I mean? But
yeah, I agree with that, because I like Stranger, but $30,000 for a Stranger clown is a little.
Well, no, fuck that. I would go like the het route, but
yes,
but at the same time, I think when I think about it now that we're talking about it, the Monarch is more interesting to me, just because I like contrast. I do like dark snakes, but I like brighter snakes. They just catch my eye faster, and I've always just been drawn towards them. So, you know, I think it has an edge, and that plus it's not crazy fucking $20,000 snakes. You know, a Stranger het clown, what, like 10? Like if you get hooked up, it's like 10K.
Yeah.
If you get really hooked up.
Yeah.
And no, so
right.
Yeah. So you know, and that's part of my problem. You know, people always say, well, what genes are you into? And I like too much shit. I'm not one of these people that can fucking assholes. And I'm not one of these people that can just pick 3 genes and work them. Like I'm too into too many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to streamline it as best as possible, but there's just so much cool shit out there. It's too hard.
It is crazy, for sure. And that's what we come back and talking. And I noticed looking at your pairings and some of the stuff that you sent me, it's really important to have all that stuff that can kind of come back and interlace with each other, right? Like you've got your specific projects, but if you look at it as a general whole, you've got stuff that, you know, it fits here, but then a couple of things also fit over here. And then the majority of this stuff fits here, but a few of the animals that fit here also fit down here, you know, and being able to have that versatility amongst your projects, especially when now double visual and triple visual and quad hets and stuff are so important and so sought after. To be able to have that versatility within your own collection makes a huge difference. You know, if all your stuff is just clown or het clown or just pied or het pied, it's hard to kind of interweave things in and out.
Well, I think financially you'd be fine because you can never satisfy the market. However, it doesn't excite me. And,
exactly.
And that's what I think is important, and what I think is so great about this hobby, business, industry, whatever, is that there's no end game. And that's what is exciting, that you can leave your mark at any point. And to go back to the investment thing, like what I started focusing on when I started actually thinking about purchases was, okay, I would, just like I did with the business, who do I want to be? I want to be like this person. So what do I have to do to get there? XYZ. Well, I want this snake that I can't afford, or this snake that's super valuable, or this snake that I love. How can I get there? Okay, well, I can't afford really to jump into so I started buying things like some supers. So like one of my pairings that I'm most excited about is I have a super inchy pastel desert ghost het hypo to a super chocolate hypo butter. So if I can get some visual hypos that are obviously going to both be inchy and chocolate, they'll all be het DG. Like those are like valuable animals that I can put together. And to be honest, they weren't cheap. I'll tell you right now, the male was $2K. I got them from Jeremy at Fireball, and then actually I got them both from Jeremy. Now that I think about it, so and the female, the super chocolate, was like $1,500. So let's say $3,500 for that pair, but one clutch of that, I'm not going to sell them all. But even if I hold them back and breed them, it's so worth it. And that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier about having a little bit of like down the road vision, and just breed your fucking hats, and you know. And now, you know, and that's another thing too, is finding a visual and a het and having a good combination. So, you know, one's DG, one's het, and then one's visual. But I can DG het is more strong than the het hypo. So
100%.
It's just, you know, what's more valuable where.
And you know, you never want to think about this, right? But even if you get the worst possible outcome in that pairing, right, which would be an inchy chocolate double het desert ghost hypo, like that's your minimum in that pairing.
That's still so
you're still making your investment worth it, right?
Yeah.
You have to hit the top tier animal of that pairing before you break even.
Right.
You know, you're still so, and I think a lot of people underestimate the power of supers. We are so focused on recessives, and don't get me wrong, recessives are great. They hold their value. They're amazing animals. I mean, without recessives, the ball python industry wouldn't be what it is, because that's a lot of our power pushing animals, right? As our visual recessives. But I think a lot of people fall short on that super side and just being able to, you know, like you said, the minimum you'll get is an inchy chocolate double het, 100% double het DG hypo. You know, that's a powerful animal right there, no matter how you look at it. The fact that you can hit that with hypo and pastel and that kind of stuff on top of it, you know, butter makes it.
And think about the yield. Like, say I put them back together in 2 years, I could, in theory, I could get super inchy, super chocolate, desert ghost hypo, like, and pastel. So it's like, you know, and that's awesome. I think supers, like you said, are very undervalued or not talked about as much. And at the same time, you don't want to handcuff yourself by getting too many supers. And like, let's say you want to get like 5 females and 3 are supers. Well, you're locked into that genetic in all your pairings. So you don't want to like overdo it. But you
have to be smart, right? Like I wouldn't go out and buy 10 super pastels.
No.
You know, because pastel doesn't belong in everything. There are certain things pastel goes really well with, but there's other things that, you know, it muddies it up too much, in my opinion. So I think that's a great way to look at it. But you're also going to like super inchy, right? Inchy is one of those genes, in my opinion. There's very few things I don't want inchy in.
Yeah, inchy's great.
Like inchy goes with hypo, inchy goes with clown, inchy goes with pied, inchy goes with DG, inchy goes with xanthic. Like, it's one of those animals that no matter what you throw to it, it's kind of almost a necessary gene. Like, it's something people seek out in order to put into their recessives. And I think chocolate is fairly similar in the way, you know, kind of depending on what you're going for. I like dark, I like contrast. So to me, chocolate is great. To some people that like that more light faded look, they might not, you know, totally be stoked on chocolate and everything, right? But I just saw the super chocolate desert ghost at Schaumburg, and that thing was insane.
Yeah, that thing is
and well, just even a chocolate clown is fucking rad. Like, that's a good example of it. And you know, that's what, you know, so that Gotham, that enhancer clutch, it's that clown. If I get, you know, anything out of that visual, I'm gonna probably pair it to one of those babies, and the enhancer and DG are gonna work together. Plus, it's gonna be het clown, and then it'll be chocolate inchy, whatever. So, and I think that's kind of how you gotta just take a project. Like, this is what I did, was just take a project, put it on paper, actually write it down, and just see the progression of what you need or want to get there, and then just search for that animal. There's so many fucking animals on Morph Market that
dude, I know.
Who had that?
I can't remember the guy's name, but I just saw.
So I'm looking it up because I believe I remember who it was.
Well, I remember the snake. It was fucking insane.
It was that dude. The dude who had it was on MJ's snake trap, I believe. Just recently, I think.
Dude, and I feel so bad, right? Because this dude is a reptile guy, and I should totally. It's morphed out reptiles.
Morphed out, yeah. He's in Maryland.
Reptiles.
He's in Maryland, yeah. He's your reptile.
Yes.
MD representative.
I know. I was like, I always want to call it. I always want to call him Mordex instead of morphed out. Like, I get the two, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, it was a super chocolate firefly. My bad.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That one, yes.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking nasty, dude. That's so badass.
Pretty rad.
It's fucking awesome, for sure.
I thought it was. I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was hypo or something. But yeah, no, it's firefly, huh? That's rad.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years then, Andrew?
Yeah.
Shit. Same place I see myself in 3 years.
Where's that?
Doing this full time.
Yes.
My fucking man. Hell yeah. The fuck Liz and I are both full time, dude.
That's rad.
Yeah, man.
Taking the leap is, and I have to give more kudos to Brandon, right? I'm full time, but Kyle still works. So I mean, we're full time, but we're not, right? We kind of still have an income, but we're hoping in the next couple of years. But it is it's a leap of faith to do it. I mean, it is not something that just is like, you never think you're far enough, right? You always think like, man, if I just give myself 2 more years, I'll be doing so much better. If I just go, eventually you just got to be like,
there's no end.
I'm jumping now.
Keep that mentality when you do go all in on it, because then you're just constantly climbing the ladder and you're always hungry. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm always hungry. There's like, I needed, like, I'm the kind of person, like, I need something like this in my life. It's like weightlifting, dude. You can, like, there's no limit. You could always stack more on the bar, right? It's the same thing with snakes, man. There's no, like, finish line. There's no end game, and I need that. I'm the kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
I need that goal to chase. I need it bad.
I'm the same way. Yeah, and I was goofing on chat earlier for jiu-jitsu, but it's the same thing. Jiu-jitsu is the same way in that nobody's ever gonna just be like, okay, I'm good. I've mastered everything. There's always somebody that's gonna humble you, and I think this is the business equivalent of it, in the sense that there's so much creative. So much creativity that people can bring to it, that's going to constantly be changing. It's like art. It's like living art, coupled with the business aspect, and just it's a tricky balance. Like when I was doing the holster thing, I knew 95% of my audience and what their mentality was on certain things, or how I could speak to them, and blah blah blah. With this industry, you got to kind of walk on eggshells, because you don't know who you're talking to, and you want to keep it as business oriented and reptile based as possible. However, it's nice to interject your personal things sometimes, but at the same time, you got to kind of pull the reins, and it's just a balancing act. I guess a lot of things are, but that's kind of what makes it, interesting, and that's what makes it fun. And like you said, Brandon, like there's no end, and you can't ever be satisfied. So it keeps you hungry because you're forced to be.
Yeah. That's, what, I've never thought about it like that before. That's the truth. This industry does force you to be hungry if you love it.
Yeah.
If it's for you, if you really love it, fuck yeah. I'm always, dude, I'm like, I can't even, like I said earlier with my girlfriend, we'll be talking about a fucking tree outside. No, fuck that tree. Listen, I got this penguin coming out. Yeah. This puzzle to monarch double head shit, boy. Like,
that willow. Yeah, speaking of willow, there was this monarch I was looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, how about you just shut the fuck up? We're going to talk about ball pythons.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just constant. But, definitely, keeping that passion and that drive alive makes a huge difference. And eventually just keeping, or just trusting that leap of faith, really, is what it comes down to. When I quit this. I quit my day job to kind of go part-time with this, and I was still doing some other stuff on the side and everything, but I didn't tell Kyle that I was quitting my job, and I cut our income by 60% when I did it. And I just said, fuck it. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it. I was almost at a breaking point. I was kind of at a tipping point. I said, we're either doing this or we're getting out of it. There's no more of this constant balancing act. It was too much. We had a kid. We were both working. We're both going to college, working multiple jobs, doing this on top of it. I was like, it's one or the other. We're either going all in or we're calling it quits. And he said, call it quits. It's like, we're not seeing anything from it. We're not doing anything. And it's almost one of those things, like, you tell me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more.
I've always been like that. Yeah.
So when he said this isn't working, we're not making money, it was kind of financially drowning us at the time, to be honest. We were dumping so much into it. We were both young and dumb, making dumb decisions, went out and bought a new car, stupid, that kind of stuff, right? So I was just like, you know what? No, I'm going to make this work. And instead of allowing it to sink, we just took off. And by being able to dedicate 40 to 60 hours a week because you don't have a primary job, you will be amazed how much you come up with, what you think of, how much more time you have to spend, how much more mental energy you have to spend on, okay, what if I take this and do
That's
this,
huge.
this and do this? Yeah.
That's such a huge part of
Game
it. People don't
changer.
realize. Yeah. And the mental energy, because that's what motivates you to actually physically do shit.
Right.
And when you don't have the mental energy, you're drained all the time from a job that you fucking hate. You know, I always go back to this, and life's fucking short. And I know, you know, I've seen a lot of, I know you have, Brandon, like, you see a lot of life get ended pretty fucking abruptly and unexpectedly. And it puts things into perspective. And one of the things I started thinking about is, I don't have to work. I've never been lazy. I've always, you know, but at the same time, human beings spend so much fucking time, such a huge chunk of their life doing shit that they don't want to do, going to a job they hate, to pay bills that are fucking overpriced and pay that. If you could manage to do something you enjoy and like, and you can have your own creativity and still, like, you have kids, you know, be there for your kids, be at home. Like, it's literally the perfect storm for a perfect career. If you can do it right, jump in and have the right mindset and be able to manage it. And that's why it's such an, to me, it's such an awesome industry. You know, and I think that if more people think like that, instead of being fucking, you know, negative Nancy's and haters and just want to shit on, like, I mean, those people are going to get washed out, but I'm just saying, like, more people could adopt that mentality, then it would grow the industry so much more. And these amazing animals that can create these crazy patterns and crazy colors that we don't even know about yet, like, they're the stars, but you got to feel that whole thing. And I think I think it's super commendable that you did that, especially at the age you did, because
thank you.
I mean, to be 24, you're 24 right now?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
This is a baby, dude. He's young, bro. Yeah.
I just turned 24 on the June 9th. Just turned.
Wow. I'm like 13 years behind you.
We're in front of you.
Actually, like 16. So yeah.
Real quick, though, I want to give a shout out to Elliot, because Elliot last week had surgery and still made it to watch this fucking
shit.
show.
There you go.
He's recovering from surgery and he's still watching this fucking show.
Not to mention, like, talking about good people in the community.
Elliot is one of the
number one supporter, dude. Like, every post, awesome. I mean,
and that takes a lot of fucking time.
Yes.
Like, to go through people, and even if you're leaving a one-word comment, that takes a lot of time, and people appreciate it. So,
for sure,
that's dude's awesome.
I see you right there, Elliot. You're a regular face in the community, and I can't wait to see you with your collection when the time is right for you. I agree, brother, and I hope you'll hit me up. I'll hook you up with some good shit.
Yeah,
and I said the same thing. I'd send him something. And what's super rad is you're so well known throughout the industry for the right reasons. Unlike Chad, who's known throughout the industry for fucking smoking pole, and like
pole smoker.
He's probably fucking snoring right now, so he probably didn't hear that. But I hope he listens.
Damn, Elliot's like getting all the fucking love up.
He deserves it, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to, like, be excited about other people's stuff and be excited about the community when you're at a high, right? Like, when you're producing awesome, you know, and you just keep going through. But for someone to truly just enjoy the animal so much, like,
just love them.
To just love, and to be excited for other people, right?
That's what I think it is, and that's what's interesting. Is I know he likes the animals, but I think it's more he likes people.
Yeah,
and I think that's even more commendable that he's trying to spread that, and not to sound all fucking gooey or whatever, you know. People I laugh at, but it's true. Like, like you know, we need. I'm a super cynical person, but we need positivity.
And
too much is obnoxious.
It spreads. I mean, it really does, right? And I mean, I know there's always that for every, 10 good, you need 10 good things happen for one bad, 10 good reviews for one bad review, because people like drama. It's sad, but it's true, But definitely the more positivity you spread, especially within a community, I mean, the ability to build people up is just insane.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
I love this community.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. This question was from my girlfriend. She was like, "Ask him a hard one." So here's your hard one.
Let's go. Good luck.
All right. if there are 1,121 squares in an aircraft, how do you measure them in units?
Okay, no, I suck at math.
All right.
How do you what? Measure the what?
Measure them what's a unit?
Exactly. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
I
know.
was like, what's the unit?
I know
Yeah.
what a unit is, but not.
Yeah, I know
I
a
guess it
unit
depends
of
whose
measurement.
unit. I guess it depends whose unit we're measuring it with.
Yeah, well, the metric system or the standardized system?
And what
No.
type of aircraft? Like,
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. No, the question
like
is,
you know,
the question is, what is your favorite reptile study? Like a scientific study or some sort of stats that someone put out there, you know, anything like that. What is your favorite type of reptile study? Snake, lizard, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm still fascinated. Well, I'm so fascinated at the amount of time people put into finding which genes are lethal. So, like,
yeah.
you know,
that's a good one, man. Yeah.
It's done so much for this community going forward. But I was just thinking, like, how many times did it take from a scientific perspective for people to actually be confident in the fact that this gene was lethal with this gene or this gene caused problems? Right. It took a lot of fucking struggle, heartache, like bummed out, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, years of multiple people doing it. And yeah, that's fascinating. And I think that that's super beneficial to everybody. You know, the Nido thing is interesting to know more about. I know that's like the fucking boogeyman word. We don't want to bring it up, but
I like the medical field. Liz and I both like the medical field in reptiles.
Yeah, it's super interesting because that can be so freaking devastating.
Yeah,
that shit's scary. Yeah.
Oh my god. So I just my hat's off to anybody that's trying to make things easier for us going forward. You know, the shed thing. I know Billy's big into the shed thing. I think that's fascinating, like scientifically. Yes. I have various opinions on how it's going to be as far as how it's going to affect the business of breeding. I know I share some of that same opinion with some people I don't. But yeah, so I guess that remains to be seen. But it's still fascinating how they can figure out what's what.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man! I would love to be able to. If I could afford to have my own lab in my basement, I would. I'd be running like my snake's blood through a centrifuge, and I'd have all my microscopes out, and I'd be separating and mapping allele DNAs in my fucking computer, and I would just be printing out, you know, feet and feet and feet of paper just to like highlight alleles that, okay, I understand that this is where this gene falls.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a fire, cool. Let me do the same thing with the vanilla and see if they do the same. And it might take me like 2.5 weeks per snake.
Yeah.
But I would still do it just because.
Like on did you watch the Tomorrow War?
No.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. It's a new science fiction movie. Anyways, they do that similar thing with like 1,000 samples of this alien DNA, and they try and figure out what's going to kill it. But
Thanks, Troy. Thanks.
I have a thing. I'm super fascinated by simple things like things we take for granted, like a telephone. I'm fucking floored by that technology. Floored that I can hear your voice through even a corded telephone. So wrapping my brain around it, when I start to try and figure it out, my brain just goes meow and folds. So like the process of determining, you know, whatever it is, it makes my head hurt. But the results makes my jaw drop. So it's kind of like I have this disconnect, you know, where it's hard for me.
I have a degree in computer programming. I had to take yeah. You want to talk about a boring fucking job?
Hard.
Sit behind a computer screen for 10 hours and look at zeros and ones. Like that is fucking because or anyone who doesn't know, computers talk, right? And zeros and ones and sequences of 8, right? So every an I is 8 variables, right? Is eight characters. And 0 and 1, all that they represent is on and off. 0 is off, 1 is on. Yeah, that's all they represent is on and off. So that's why if you think of like the original switchboards where the
Yeah.
women would plug, that's on and off. They would plug in, on, off,
No
on,
shit.
off, on, off, and that's how that works. So, yeah, you would talk about the fun. And one thing I also tell people that always blows their minds is computers are stupid as hell. Like computers can only do what we can tell that what we tell them to do. You would talk about, I'll write a program with 500,000 lines of code. If I forget a period at the end of one of those lines, the entire fucking program shuts down. I mean, just
that is gnarly to me.
Yeah, just instantly. And then I have to go back through 500,000 lines of code and
find it
and try to find where I'm missing a fucking period.
Dude,
right?
That's so tight that you know how to do
You want to
that.
talk about mind straining and just
no wonder you made that comment earlier. That comment was, there's other things I can do to make money quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, computer programming.
No.
Not
Yeah.
fucking can code.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
That's rad that you can do that.
And I'm rusty now. I haven't done it in a few years, but I used to know how to program in DOS. Which anyone who doesn't know who DOS is, it's the original programming language. I mean, it is pulling up your Windows control system unit, right? Like we all used to see the black, big white thing, and you would type. That's DOS. That is just typing in a big black blank screen.
Yeah.
There is a very small percentage of the population under the age of 60 that know how to program in DOS.
So you're like a little fucking kid genius.
Yeah, no, not really, but
no, I'm 24.
You're smart, Liz.
Yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, so that's computer programming. I actually went into it hoping to program in Unity, which is making like Assassin's Creed games and Call of Duty and stuff like that. But then I found out that in order to work on those games, you have to either live in Chicago or California, and I really wasn't about that. So yeah, I wasn't really about either of those places. So that's one of the reasons. But yeah, so it would talk about learning how things work, going back to the systematic binary code of how computers really transmit information. That was a really hard thing for me to wrap my head around. Like I could program. Hardware was the easiest thing for me because it's physical. Right? Like you touch it, you put it together, like it's super, like how you build a computer. It's super easy.
That's something I could wrap my brain around.
Yeah, super easy. But hardware technicians make like no money. Like $18,000 a year is like good salary for a hardware technician.
Oh,
so the next best thing was programming, which is what I went into. And then your real super geniuses go into networking. And then you're like crazy, stupid, smart people go into computer engineering. And they're the people that actually like make the components that make up the computer, right? Like they tell the computer's components how to transmit information.
Bunch of fucking smarty pantses.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that whole networking side of things of learning how the computers actually talk to each other through whether it be VIA,
that's crazy. That hurts my head.
That's
networking, like truly being hardwired in, or Bluetooth. Like your phone, right? Like I call you, you can hear me. Conception. Yeah. I pretty much just learned the basics. Like I learned how that worked, but I didn't learn why. If that makes sense, right? Like I understand how it happens, but I don't understand why those pieces of information talk to each other the way that they do.
Yeah, I didn't know Jerome was fucking all programmed out too. See?
Yeah.
People have hidden talents. That's great. It's nuts to me. See, I'm very visual, and like my trade is electrical. So, even with electrical work, it's not it's not using multimeters. I'm doing residential, commercial type electric, but I know what you mean because I knew so long how things would work. Or why things worked. I didn't know how they worked though.
Right.
So I knew how to wire like a three-way switch, which is you can turn it on from one side of the room to the other. But I was like, but how does that fucking make sense? I know how to wire it.
Yeah.
Why does it do that?
Right.
And so a lot of things that I run into, I felt stupid. I knew how to make them work. I just felt stupid, like not knowing why they worked. I'd have people ask me, why do you need to you know, why does the ground and neutral go to the same bus, the main panel? I was like, because that's what it does.
Because that's how I'm supposed to
I just know you don't do it on a sub panel.
Okay?
That's all. Yeah.
You know, it's really funny to see the way. I feel like computers is a great example. Like some people, like Jerome just said, networking is way easier than programming, right? I feel the absolute opposite. Like networking for me was one of the most hardest concepts I ever had to wrap my head around. And I remember coming home being like so frustrated when I was studying it. And Kyle would sit down, read like the little expert, and then be like, oh yeah, it works like this. And he'd like answer all the questions that I just got like 6 hours for, you know? And I was like, what the hell? Like, how are you understanding this so easily? But then I would be programming something and I'd just be sitting there like away on the keyboard, and I'd pop up and I'd build a mobile game on your phone was one of the things that we were supposed to do, you know? And he'd be like, how the hell, like, I don't understand anything that you're doing, you know? And so there's definitely a different way that your brain processes information, right? So some people have a really easy time with like hands-on, like I can feel it, I can touch it, I can move it. Exactly. Networking is all conceptual. Like none of it actually exists, but it exists. Like that's literally how I feel about networking. It's like none of this stuff is actually here, but it's there. It's
so
just,
would programming be like, so does every like say letter or
programming is like writing in a foreign language.
right? So does every, like you said, I has 8 digits or whatever.
Right.
So does every letter and number have a specific number or pattern or set?
So it does, but we have taught our computers what those certain sets of numbers mean, so we can still type in like normal words, right? Programming, and the easiest way to explain is a lot like Excel, right? Like it's almost like shorthand. Like everything is shortened to mean different things. So you can say like paragraph with like a PR, right? Like it's super easy, but you just have to know for that is that abbreviation. And then the computer knows that P is whatever combination, right? 0011010. Like it knows that is that combination. But the people behind that, which is computer engineering, taught the computer which letter, which syllables mean which set of 8 digits. If that
mind blowing.
Yeah. So it's very confusing. So you still have to learn binary because it's just part of it, but there's very few people that very few reasons, I guess I should say, to truly code in true binary form. But yeah, and the fun thing is there's different languages. There's different computer programs. There's Plus, there's Visual Basic, there's Unity, there's DOS, there's Sharp. There's all kinds of different languages, and each language has its own set of rules, right? Just like you speak Spanish or French or Portuguese, right? They're all similar, but they all have their own set of variations.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a funny one. Check this out.
I read a sewing hat already.
Tracy.
See, I have a horrible time with. I do sew a little bit for my
sewing machine is a fucking voodoo machine.
Yes,
I don't know how the fuck it works.
It's super confusing to me. I have a hard time I have a hard time looking at something that's flat and making it 3D in my mind, right? Like I'm not good with construction for that reason either. Like I have a hard time looking at things in my head in a 3-dimensional way. Like if you can show me it 3-dimensional, then I'm good. But I have trouble like picturing things that aren't flat, if that makes sense, right? Like building construction, I have a hard time picturing how everything's going to fit together because I have a hard time
dimensions, your depth, all that stuff is hard to picture. Yeah. See, I've always been okay with that. I've just been hands-on. I'm more like grunty, like fucking caveman, like brain. Like,
I know what you mean, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, I get what you're saying.
Like I want to be a smarty pants. I want to be one of these people that like can see, can pick up on shit, or like I'm really good. Like I'm not really good, but I'm above average. I'm like basic math in my head. when you start introducing algebraic fractions and geometry, my fucking brain freezes, and I'm just like, okay, I don't.
See,
my ADD kicks in, and I start thinking about everything but what I learned about.
Yeah,
I can get there, but I can't get to calculus. Calculus is where I really start failing, but I can make it as far as, like, actually during COVID, I learned physics and
I love physics.
Physics and
I would drink up
theory.
Physics all day. Physics, but you would probably really like physics, Andrew, because physics is math, but it's conceptual math. It's like
cool.
It's like if the skateboard is going at 200 miles an hour and the man standing on it weighs 250 pounds, how hard does he hit the stop sign? Like that,
yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here, check this one out. This is my favorite one. All right, you ready? Picture this in your head. There's an elevator suspended in air. Okay, an elevator is a box. 3-dimensional cube, yeah? There's a man inside, floating inside of the elevator. He's not touching any part of it whatsoever. No gravity in there, right? All of a sudden, the man's feet touch the bottom of the elevator. So did he fall or did the elevator move upward? That's an actual theory of relativity physics question.
Yep.
Because it conceptualizes the force of gravity and acceleration on the elevator going upward. It feels like the man's feet touch the ground. But do they really? Is it gravity pulling him down?
But see, isn't that dependent upon whether or not the elevator's strapped in? I mean, if it's just floating in a non-gravity...
And that's why it's conceptual. So you are able to conceptualize how gravity affects acceleration.
Here's the fun thing about physics. When you get done doing your physics equation, then you have to figure out how wrong you are. Like there's a whole equation at the end that tells you how variable, off you are. And there's a certain percentage that is acceptable, right? To be off, which always blows my mind, right? Because we're never like,
dude, Jerome's like a fucking smartass.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Then he found out that teachers make no money. No.
Man, I feel like inferior now. We're having so many conversations in Arlington. He's probably this fucking layman. Lug.
He's probably just making fun of you low key, like when you're not looking.
He's playing down the blue collar thing. I'm like, oh, you barbecue? That's sick.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's
Oh man.
Okay.
All right.
Look, we're over the 2-hour limit. We
got one more question for you, and then we go to our revolution round. This has been awesome.
It's been fun.
This has been a really fun time. So, in what way has breeding ball pythons changed your life?
It's given me direction. Like as far as where I can see myself and where I want to be. Talking about doing it full time and being able to hold down an income while still being at home and doing the things I like, and hopefully having a relationship thrive and just living life on my own terms. And it's given me, because I see it now. I see the time frame, I see the path, and cross my fingers. Hopefully my house doesn't freaking burn down. But if it doesn't, then I can see myself being where I want to be. So it's given me, I would just say it's given me confidence in where I'm going. Whereas before, it's like I'm going through the motions, doing my shit every day, and I might do this in the future, I might do this, but the reality is I don't really know. I'm not married to anything, so now I am, and that was part of the purpose of my investment was, okay, I'm gonna go in, but I'm gonna go in hard, so I'm forced to not deviate from the path, and it's gonna motivate me more to stick with it. So I guess just direction.
I love it. Yeah. That is awesome. Plus, you get to hang out with us, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I'm in law enforcement, and I always thought that that there was no other people as willing to sacrifice things or themselves, their time, their money, whatever, as cops. And until in military, because I know I have military friends that are cops also, so I talk to them too. But I honestly have seen so much of that in this community that it's blown my mind. I'm super impressed, and I didn't expect it. And I know people don't have a ton of money to throw around, but I see people that I know don't have cash still donating to certain causes or whatever, and building friendships, genuine friendships, not just phony shit, you know, not coattail riders just because somebody is popular on YouTube or somebody's like got a good collection or is famous, then you kiss their ass. Like that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about people that build genuine friendships. And to me, that's what's most important. I don't care what you do for a job. If I like you as a person, then that's, I think, the greatest quality somebody can have. Loyalty, not being phony. And there's a ton of people like that in this community. And I think that's what's so awesome about it. That's the greatest thing about this community.
Fuck yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
We just did Precious Pythons, and she was like, I don't know what this says about my life, but the greatest thing in my life is being a part of this community.
Yeah.
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 It is.
I've been a part of a lot of communities. Like I was on the rodeo circuit for a while. I showed horses. I was in 4-H. I've done dog agility, which the dog community is a whole nother fucking game. Let me tell you.
I've heard.
And I just been lots of different things. And I mean, you would talk about cutthroat. I mean, there's people who I dedicated practically my life to when I was younger in the horse community that as soon as I said, like, hey, I was getting out, I'm not going pro anymore, I'm not going full time, like, I have not talked to them till this day.
Really?
Like, people that I've known for 15, 16, 17 years, that, it's just like, as soon as you leave, you're dead, pretty much. Like, you're out. And I remember going to our first Tinley, and they did like a benefit auction, not for USARK. They did one for another member in the community that very, very unfortunately had lost his daughter. And at age 11, I believe.
Oh my God, it's my daughter's age.
Oh, sorry. Like,
no.
They were talking about it, and we kind of just happened to stumble across Tinley. I didn't really know anything about the community at the time or even really what to expect. And we went to the auction, and people just started standing up and like, I'm donating 10,000, I'm donating 5,000, I'm donating and just the things people were saying, because they were like passing a mic around and people were talking. I think by the end of the night they had raised like $46,000 for this family.
That's crazy.
And I know, and I exactly, and I like my heart still like gets going just talking about this. And I remember sitting in the back and then just turning and looking at Kyle and been like, I have never been a part of something like this, like ever. All the other communities I had been in were very neat, like very cliquey. Like you never talked about your personal life. You never told anyone else what was going on. Like no matter what was, you could have a horse that was dying in the stall and everything was fine. You know what I mean? And if you did happen to lose an animal or an animal was to get injured, I mean, talk about like they would literally just practically beat the life out of you right there. Like it was all your fault, everything horrible that could be said. It just cutthroat as it can get. And I remember getting into this community and just being in awe of how inviting really everyone was, and how if you had something go wrong, you could ask a question without having to fear that, and I mean, obviously you always see yourself on Facebook or whatever, but if you had your true people that you talk to that are in a true part of the community, they're always willing to help. They're always willing to give advice. It was just, it's what's kept me in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, no, exactly. And that's what I was talking to Billy about last night. I said, people don't give you any credit. People shit on your sticker shout outs of the week or your fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what you don't realize is what you're doing for the community as a whole. Because that one shout out to somebody that's kind of teeter-tottering on whether or not, they want to do this full time, they want to keep going with it.
Yeah.
They love that. And that's huge for people. It's such a morale builder. And I think that's contributed to a lot of people really taking the next step or going forward or just sticking with it.
100%.
And that's what I think is so great about it. And
being able to have the people to fall back on and going like, you know what, guys, it's had a shitty day. Everything's going shitty. I feel like I just want to be done. And you've got 10 people that are like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've seen 6 or 7 posts recently about people that's like, I'm thinking about just being done. 200, 300 comments about people being like, you're not fucking done. Like, you're staying in this. I don't give a shit. Like, you can't sell out. We won't buy your snakes. Like, we'll make sure you don't come out. It's just, having those people behind you makes all the difference, really, at the end of the day, because everyone's going to have lows. No matter how passionate you are, no matter what, everyone has them. It just happens.
And it's good because, you know, I always talk about, you tell people, oh, I'm going to breed snakes. 90% of people look at you like you're a fucking weirdo.
I know, dude.
Which to me just shows how untapped the market is on a big scale. So it shows how much more it needs to go public or needs to be more mainstream. But to that point, you don't have a lot of people in your lives that can empathize with you when you lose an animal or when you have something go wrong and they're like, okay, I don't know what the fuck that means. Cool, your snake died. But like when you have people that do get it, have experienced it, have experienced bad luck, you know that you're telling somebody that actually feels for you. You know that you're not just talking to a wall. So I think that's, even if you don't get a ton of feedback, at least you know you have some people to bounce your problems with.
Oh, yeah. 100%. All right, well, we've taken you way over. Not way over.
Yes, I'm sorry. I appreciate the time.
Over the time.
It's all good.
Yeah, we do appreciate your time, man. I know we ask a lot of our guests.
Not at all. I'm happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like we need to have you on again because I don't like having people on. I think too many. Like, there's not too many people I want to have on twice. I feel like we didn't ask you enough. I feel like you're actually a lot smarter than
I look. I get that.
I think you're smarter.
I love it. I'd love to have Andrew on again, but I would love to have you on, Andrew, and not to stretch this out because we'll get you on again, but like in 5 years.
Oh,
I cannot wait to go back and be able to like compare these, right?
Matter of fact, we should do it exactly a year from now, every year.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
No, I think I'm going to call you out right now. I think you are smart enough to not let people know how smart you actually are. Now let's move on to the revolution round.
That's a hell of a fucking compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I'm going to start drooling. I'm going to start drooling now.
Sometimes there's power in seeming
ignorant. I do it all the time in front of people. Straight up. I always do.
Same.
Saying like some dumb off the wall shit that don't even make sense and super wrong. And I'm like, give me more info.
Yeah. You know, you always know the people that are always like, oh, I'm so cool. I got all these projects and this big collection, and I know so and so and so and so. And
yeah,
it's always those people that you're like, you're a nobody trying to seem like a somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way you think you can do that is by throwing out like all your ammo right at the beginning, right?
People are always like that.
I love when people message me and they're like, hey, I want to buy this snake. Oh, by the way, I'm friends with like Miguel. It's like, that's cool.
Chill.
There's this.
Let me message him real quick and be like, hey, do you know? I've done that with people. Like, I'll message like, this person says they're really good friends with you, but they're giving me some sketchy vibes. I'll be like, I don't know that person. Like, maybe they bought a snake off me once,
Yeah, maybe. Can't remember.
They're insecure. It's just insecurity.
That's exactly what it is insecurity. And
and
people in this industry, like, you shouldn't have anything to be insecure about because we all started somewhere. Like, we all started building our own melamine racks with like, basic combos. Like, we all started. Justin Kabelka started somewhere. There was a time in his life where he did not produce a clutch. Like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? We're all there at one point. There's nothing.
Everyone's seeing the end product. Nobody's seeing the grind.
Exactly, man. That's what it is.
Because 20 years ago, they would have looked at him like he's a fucking nerd. But now everyone is, it's just, he's like the god. He's like fucking the man.
But no one saw the grind, like you said.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's nothing to knock on him. It's just that people look at people that aren't successful as just, they dismiss them.
Yeah.
Right.
But those people are grinding.
Exactly.
I listen to a lot of motivational speeches. Like, that's my big thing. Like, I listen to music, but I put on a lot of like motivational stuff. I'm cleaning and stuff too. I'm a nerd. I'm weird like that. I like listening to people give presentations and speak. Like, I know it's weird, but I do it anyway.
I love it too.
Yeah, awesome. Like people look at me like they'll come in expecting to hear hardcore music, and I've got people up on like a TED Talk being like, "You can do it!
Yeah, right.
You can do it!" You know, like that is my motivation. But one of my favorite lines out of many that I've heard is people are rewarded for public for what they practice for years in private. You know, you get that 5 minutes of fame for something you've been working 15 years for without anyone ever saying a word, you know. And not only that, usually with people being like, you'll never make it, you're not going to be that big, is it really worth it, all right, you know. And I think we get that a lot in the snake community, or not the snake community, but the snake industry, from, like you said, people who don't understand it, whether it be family members or friends or whatever. They're like, oh my, you know, I get it all the time. I cannot believe you spent that much money on a snake. Like, oh my God, you know, you've got to be crazy. I can't believe it. And we got hate for it hardcore when we started this. And a lot of those people
come around.
Have fell back. Yeah, you know.
My parents love what I do.
They see it, right?
Well,
they start seeing it.
It's like the people that give relationship advice that had one failed marriage after 20 years. It's like,
yes,
I'm not knocking your journey, but like at the same time, you don't really have a big like sample pool to pick from. Like, what do you base this off of? One dude?
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm not going to listen.
And it didn't work out. Like one dude, and it didn't work out. So
but I bet you anybody that's been moderately successful or understands business, understands economics and money, if you explain to them the business plan of a ball python breeding business and you throw out some numbers, they're going to be interested. Like somebody that has a business acumen is going to look at it and be like, wow, there's something here. People that don't, well, you're not going to take financial advice from them anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
it. You know, they'll just be like, oh, that's okay. I own 5 companies and have 250 employees, and tell you all that hard-hitting shit right off the rip, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
And you'll just be like, no, you don't. And they'll be like, yeah, I know.
Oh, your business makes $20 million, but you take home $300,000. So you're not really balling. Like, there's that aspect to it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, right.
That's true, man.
All right. We'll move on to our revolution around here. I feel like we could talk all night. This is great. I absolutely love it. But I feel like we work well. Like you say, we say one thing and everyone's like,
right? I'm enjoying myself for sure.
It's awesome. All right, so we already went through the 1 rep max bench press. Right? Revolution round question. So, all right, Andrew, when you're talking about the ball python morph, is it caramel albino or caramel albino?
Caramel.
Yeah, boy! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, Liz! Your lipstick sucks! Fuck yeah!
It's just like it's like when Canadians say pasta or Mazda.
Pasta?
I'm like, no.
Pasta?
Caramel. It's caramel.
Caramel. I say caramel because I'm
makes me want to throw a baby through a window.
I have a lazy fat tongue, so I
can either one of you roll your R's?
I can roll my R's.
Mexican, dude.
Okay, that doesn't mean automatically that you can roll your R's.
Yes, it does.
That's why I attribute my I'm Mexican too, so I attribute my enunciation to that. See, there you go.
That's like
I'm Native American, so I don't know where that puts me.
So you're like the original Mexican.
You get to live in a reservation.
Yeah. You know what? That's cool because again, random side question. My great grandma is full blood Sioux.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my parents are older; they're in their 60s and 70s. My great grandma's full blood Sioux, and I've been told by many, I haven't looked into it, that apparently because of that, I'm entitled to like that government grant thing.
You are.
I was just gonna say that's how you started your boat. That's how you got the Monarch, was because you're.
You know what? I thought about it, right? Because I've looked into it. It's like 89 grand, and I'm like, man, do I go down that avenue or do I not? But then I'm also like, it's the government. Fuck them.
Holy shit!
They'll just tax it 27%.
I pulled this dude over in a sick tweaker car one time. I was working by myself, and he's just piled the shit in his truck, in his car, and he was Native American, and he was all tweaked out. And I was like, "What's up, dude?" Talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just partying here for the weekend. I just come down, I get my check, and I come down." And he's like, "Well, so what do you get? You know, paid?" He's like, "I get paid once a month, but it's like 30 grand." And I was like, "No, you don't." because you look at him and be like, dude, this is a fucking bum. And sure, he's like, dude, he opens his briefcase. He's got like 100 pay stubs of like 29K, 30K. I'm like, dude, tax free. I'm like, I wish I was fucking Indian. This is bullshit.
Yeah, right.
I'm getting $400 for this shift.
So the funny thing is, and I know several people there's a reservation in Southern Illinois, right? And they do like a powwow thing every year and all that fun stuff. But they're like, the first thing that we do, because when you turn 18, you get like the initial chunk, right, of like 89,000 or whatever. Like the first thing all of them do is they go out and they buy new cars and then they go get drunk. Like that is what they do. And and this might not be true or not, you'll probably be on it. Like as soon as they drive on a reservation, even if they're drunk driving, like you can't touch them. Like it is a law-free zone. So
they have their own PD and everything.
Yeah, it's just like they're like, yeah, if we start getting pulled over, like we just drive till we hit the reservation and then we get out of our trucks and there's nothing they can do. I'm like, that is kind of bullshit in my opinion, because I don't agree with drunk driving, obviously, but it's also like, dude, seriously. Like,
well, I mean, I was a knucklehead growing up, and I never sweated people for petty shit, so I wish I had a reservation near me growing up, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. But luckily I never got, I got caught, but I mean, the closest I came was 2 weeks before I turned 21. They gave me a breathalyzer and I was loaded, and it malfunctioned. It was 0.
Oh,
so
really?
I was like 2 blocks from my house. I was going to turn 21 in 2 weeks, and this motorcycle cop, they don't fucking play.
Yeah.
They're all about ticketing people. So, he gave me the breathalyzer. He said, you blow it clean, you're good. And I blew a 0 3 times, and it's like, no fucking way I was at 0. So
that's awesome.
I mean,
but damn, yeah.
I don't want to snitch on myself, but I'll tell you, I've like drove off base and went to the club with the boys, and then woke up the next day like, how the fuck did I get my car?
Oh, dude, I've done that since I've been a cop 15 years.
So
and trust me, the last 15 years I've been very irresponsible sometimes.
Yeah, man, it just happens.
It's people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, it's definitely interesting. I don't know. Maybe I should look into it more. But
you definitely should. You can, like Jerome said.
Yeah, do it. Get what you can.
Yeah, very true. It's funny because I used to like really look it. Like I used to have hair down to the back of my knees. My hair's my hair's almost black. Like naturally, my hair.
Go look at your Facebook. Look at them little pictures on your Facebook.
Super tan. Like I used to be a farmhand, so I was like tan as fuck, like straight out of Mexico looking. It's crazy. Yeah, completely different, completely 180. But so I used to look it like hardcore. But so I should go look into it.
You definitely should.
You should. Okay.
All right,
Andrew, what why do you only have 2 facial expressions in selfies?
Who the fuck said that? Who asked that question?
My girlfriend.
Oh, I'm like, it wasn't me.
She said the rock on face and the half smile.
Because I can't fake smile.
Okay, so I checked. You only do have 2 facial expressions. I verified this. This is 100%.
Hey, at least you take
you said that, I'm going to start doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Kyle cannot fake smile at all. Me, this is years of like, I used to do like modeling and shit in high school, so lots of practice. But like in every picture I ever take of Kyle, I'm like fucking pinching his side. Like I'm like, he's like, oh, smile, like this is great.
I fake smile, my face just goes, like it turns into a bubble. So I don't know.
Oh, dude, I'm really good at faking that.
I like a resting bitch face. Super droopy eyes.
Hey, your shit tickets, do you do them over or under?
Over.
Yes.
Nobody does under. Psychopaths.
No, I don't.
People do, yeah. Well, sociopaths, but yeah.
I've told Brandon this, so I don't really care. Like, I'm lucky if the new roll gets on the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like my thing sits on the wall, and people like put the toilet paper roll like this, like the bars underneath it, and they just set. I'm like,
set it on it.
2 seconds if I can put it on the bar.
Yeah.
Over
right?
all day.
But yeah.
Liz, you got the last one?
Andrew, how are you revolutionary?
I was dreading the shit out of this question.
Oh,
He knew it. He knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, there's my girlfriend.
I can't say that I have a great answer.
There's my girlfriend commenting on your resting bitch face.
What's that?
That's
I only have 2 as well. That's why I
my
noticed.
girlfriend commenting on your resting bitch face.
Ashley? I never heard anybody say that's funny though. But I'm a revolution. You know what? That's like Precious said, that's a weird fucking that's hard for me to answer because my whole thing with this business or industry or this hobby is I love people and I love that aspect of it. So my number one goal is to always be myself. You know, I'm not one of these people that's going to fake the funk. I don't care who I'm in front of or who I'm around. I'm always going to be me, and I'm always going to, you know, act the way I act in private or in public. So, not that that's revolutionary. I've seen people, you know, not do that, but I don't really know because people have done what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like people, like there's Miguel. Miguel's done what I want to do. He dumped in heavy and he's being successful. That's my goal. I don't know, you know, I guess on average that's revolutionary, but it's not, you know, unprecedented. It's been done before. So I can't really top the people in the industry. I can only aspire to be like them and work towards that and just be myself. So I'm really boring, but just build friendships. And I guess you weren't asking what my goal was, but yeah. It's not really revolutionary.
I'd say, if anything, your fucking pairings are revolutionary. Fuck.
Oh, right.
Yeah, your fucking pairings.
To make some revolutionary shit. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, much. I'm about that.
And I have the fucking itch, just like Billy or Miguel. Like, if I can do something and I have it in my head, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get to that point. So as this whole experiment goes on and hopefully improves and becomes, you know, financially beneficial, then hopefully I can grow and do more things. And my big thing is to give back and help other people that I care about that deserve it. And so if I can get to a point one day where I'm doing that, then I'm going to be very happy.
I think you'll get to that point.
Awesome. Oh yeah, for sure. I think a couple of ways too that, I don't know, I guess like you said, it's hard to top some of the stuff that's already been done, right? Or like the people. But I think you're very humble, yet very confident in what you want to do, not following someone else, right? You know, and I think that's hard to come by. I think you either get people that are skeptical about what they're doing, right? Like they know what they want to do, but they have a hard time going for it. Or you get people that are just so overly cocky about what they're doing that it kind of becomes the death of them too, right? So there's a fine balance between keeping yourself humble, yet confident enough in yourself to keep pushing for what you want.
Absolutely.
And that's a hard balance to find in yourself, right? Because that's what it comes down to. You can have a million people cheering in your corner and a million people tearing you down. But if you don't believe in what you're doing or have confidence in your ability, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know, even if you have people cheering you up, you're not going to get accomplished what needs to be accomplished.
I think that's super important. And I to your point, I appreciate those words. It's nice of you. I wasn't always like that. I wasn't always as okay with my flaws or confident as I tried to be, because so the first 7, real quick story, the first 7-8 years when I was on the sheriff's department, we had to work the jails. So I worked in a busy area and we worked with the same people. It was kind of like one of those, you know, if you made the cut, you stayed on the floor. If you didn't, you went somewhere else. So over the 8 years, I built a really strong bond with these people, and they're like family to me. A lot of the time in there was downtime, and a lot of time was finding things to make fun of each other about. So they're ruthless. There's no limits to these motherfuckers.
The army.
Yeah, it's like the military. So you're always trying to find something to go, you know, to fucking hit somebody with. And you've got to develop that alligator skin. I think it's an important lesson for people in general in life. You need to stop being so fucking sensitive. Don't take yourself so seriously, and realize that every single person on the planet has flaws and fucks up. And that's the thing, is that people are operating under the guise that some people are perfect, some people aren't, and they don't want to be one of those people that aren't. And it's like, no, everybody fucks up. Everyone's made bad decisions, dumb decisions.
Oh yeah.
And people try and mask it by saying, oh no, my life's great, or oh no, this is, I did this because this, and making a fucking excuse.
They have that social media perfect life, right? Where like
right.
The kids are always clean, the house is always done, like like everything's always perfect, right?
And it's not.
Yeah.
And as soon as you can accept that and understand that and just own it. And one of the things that helped me is making fun of myself. I make fun of myself more than fucking anybody that I make fun of anybody. It's myself. So I think if you can get to the point, and it takes time, it takes effort, it takes work, but if you can get cut enough, eventually you become impervious to criticism or whatever it is. You understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and you just try and improve the weaknesses and not get too fucking cocky on your strengths. So
that's about it.
I think that's a good recipe for people to go through life with. It would alleviate a lot of fucking wah bullshit.
Yeah. It's a soft world these days.
Super soft. And people like China and Russia are arming the fuck up. So we need a fucking hard enough. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Saw a couple things today, and I was like, man, maybe I should just go take up a contract real quick.
It's crazy times, and it's sad, and people just are very accustomed to their first world life, and they didn't live through brutal times in this country, and so they're just accustomed to this comfort, this level of convenience and comfort that a lot of parts of the world have never seen, and are still living archaically. So, that aside, I think on a day-to-day basis, I think people just need to not take themselves so seriously and don't be so fucking sensitive, and life's not that bad.
Yeah, pussies.
Yeah. Make your own fucking path. Get a second job. Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, go be a little bitch ass.
Yeah, and I think Andrew, you said life isn't that bad, and it's not, right? But I think it's also good to understand that there are some days that just suck. And you know what? Yeah. Tomorrow's a new day. You'll get over it. You will move on,
Yeah.
But some days you just gotta fold. I just told Brandon when we hopped on behind stage, I was like, I feel like I've been running around doing shit all day and got nothing done. I mean, like I got nothing accomplished today, yet I was super fucking busy.
But you know what the thing is too, and it's like with work, when you go out and you see heinous shit, if you internalize that and you deal with and you think of it, it does you no good. It's not going to benefit you. You're not a better person for it. You just are affecting your own life with it. So same thing. Whereas you could have something bad, you have a snake die, so you're gonna sit there and dwell on it. You can sit there and say, "Oh, woe is me." No. You just say, "Fuck, that fucking sucks." Okay, now what do I got to do to get in the right?
Learn from it. How do I keep this from happening again? And then go on. Yeah.
That sucks. Now what?
Yeah.
What's next?
Because there's always something more coming, right?
Yeah, because
because it happened. If it's something you can't change, you should be like,
if you can't control it,
now what?
Yeah, if you can't control it, fucking.
And I know, we talk about this all the time in horse training, and I've kind of tried to apply it because I'm a jack of all trades. I've done lots of different things. But I was a horse trainer for a while too. I sold jewelry. I was a computer programmer. Like I was a horse trainer. Gypsy people always ask me like, what is your, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm a jack of all trades. Like I've done a little bit of everything, but we always say in horse training, and it seems to go this way, like little by little, you'll chisel away at an issue or a problem or a new behavior you're trying to train, and it'll go really, really good, right? Like all week it's going awesome. And then Friday, it's like that horse fucking forgot everything you spent the last 90 days trying to teach it, right? And it's a shit show. And you go through the whole day being like, what the hell? It's like, I got this horse in today and I've been working on it for 90 days. And if you just keep at it for that day, then the next day, it's like everything falls into place. Like it is the weirdest shit. It's like it's their last huzzah before they give in. It's like their last, I'm going to give this one last effort before I give in to doing this, right? And I feel like life is kind of that way. Like things will be going really good, and all of a sudden, like shit will just fall apart underneath you. Like you'll just be amazed. And you can either push through it And there's always something so much better than what you thought waiting on the other side. Or you can give up at that point where everything's falling apart, and then you never achieve that. You never achieve that it got so much better because you can't see it, right? You can't see what's going to happen, what's going to get better. You just almost have to put faith in the fact that everything's kind of going to work itself out, right? You know, or not work itself out, but you can make it work.
Well, yeah.
out.
And what people tend to overlook is that by doing that and pushing through something, now you've got a notch in your belt that you can't even buy. You can't buy that experience of, and it's just like, you know, I'm fucking out of shape. I haven't been in the gym forever, but when I would get into it, and the first 2 weeks are fucking brutal, right? Mentally, more so than anything. So when you're sitting there, if you know, when you say, okay, I'm gonna do 20 minutes, and then you quit at fucking 10 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever it is, you're training your brain to fucking quit. And you're not, and you're hurting yourself. But if you push through and say, I'm not fucking stopping until this shit's done. And then you get that 20-minute notch, and you're like, okay, I actually was able to do it, and I'm cool now. And don't be a bitch. Don't be a pussy. Just fucking do it.
You ain't fucking dead. You ain't fucking dead. Get off your fucking lazy ass.
Exactly.
Fucking do it.
Dude, we all know people that can't walk, can't talk, have fucking neurological issues, have fucking other problems that we don't suffer with, and we're over here whining because it's fucking hard. Well, that's just that's a defeatist mentality, and you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to fall into that rubble you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or you can go ahead and continue to be a fucking failure because it makes it easy for people like us to be successful.
Dude, I was
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I was put in a wheelchair my sophomore year in high school. I have really bad knees. I have a lot of issues, and my doctors told me that I would never walk. That was it. Like, I went in, they said, you'll never walk again. You're done. And 8 months. Took me 8 months, and I walked into my follow-up appointment, and they were amazed. They were like, what the hell? You shouldn't be walking. I was like, fuck this. I got shit to do. I got shit my life in this chair, you know?
Fucking around.
The fucking brain's so powerful.
Yeah, it is. So powerful. It's insane. But, yeah, you know, it makes a big difference. You can accomplish a lot more. When people tell you you can't.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not good with positive, like, motivate. Yeah, good, you're doing so good. I like to put shit on me, and they're like, you fucking suck, dude. That's all you've done so far. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. But so I've been there. I know, it and a lot of people have, whether it's something like that or just a mental breaking point. Like, we've all been to that point where we either could decide to push through it and just get shit done, or stop right there and just accept what we are or what we have at that point.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Very poignant.
All right.
We are almost at 3 hours. This is great. We had a great time. I know. Brandon and I are looking at the clock like it's 11 fucking o'clock.
I know, I'm spoiled over. It's only 8:43.
Yeah. That's nice. Well, thank you very much for rushing through LA traffic and getting here on time, and for being on, and all the great insight. And I mean, for your first year, man, you're killing it.
For your
appreciate that.
I mean, you suck. Fucking super inchy pastel.
Oh yeah, you can't do it. Sell out. I'll never be shit. Fuck that.
Well, I know. Thank you guys very much for having me on. I had a good time. It was very fun live.
Awesome.
I appreciate
That's
you
what we
asking
like
me
to hear.
You come
Yeah,
to
for
Arlington
sure.
in September?
You were we were trying to figure someone out. I'm like, you know what? I got a good dude. I think we need to get on.
Some fucking yeah.
Yeah.
She said schmuck, but okay.
Schmuck.
Yeah, same shit.
It's my last name, so it's not an insult coming.
It actually is her last
true.
name.
Yeah, Elizabeth. I married into that shit.
You know, it's just the foreskin of the penis once it's cut off.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
SCHMUCK. It's funny. I love to order pizzas or make a reservation, because people will be like, what's the last name? And I'll be like, yeah. And I had one lady once, right? Like, she's like, name. And I was kind of being rude, right? She's like, name. And I was like, schmuck. And she's like, excuse me.
That's so awesome.
And I was like,
so rad.
Schmuck, like my last name is Schmuck. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you would be amazed.
Yeah,
How
you said we're
often?
stupid. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Last
hilarious.
name,
That's rad. I never even picked up on that. God, I'm dense.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna rag on so many people now. Last name, fucked your mom. What?
Yeah.
No. I just fucked your mom.
Oh, that's Turkish.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Yeah.
I left my wallet on her
know.
dresser. Can you get it back for me?
So if you imagine, Kyle's got pretty thick skin. I mean, talk about getting your alligator skin early, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
dude, he's heard it all.
Sure.
Like there is nothing,
No, this was fun, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on, and
Yeah.
it was
Awesome.
good chatting, and it flowed really good. So
Yeah,
good
we
job.
had a great time. This one was awesome. So thank you very much. And
Yeah, dude, come to Arlington and Tinley so we can hang out.
Oh, I'm
are
for
you
sure.
coming?
I'm coming to Tinley, Arlington, maybe. I got a couple weddings
All
that
right.
month, and it's gonna be tough. But
Yeah,
Tinley for sure.
I understand that. Tinley for sure. Awesome. I'm only a few hours from Tinley.
Oh, you
I'm
are?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
fortunate.
pretty sure I'll be at both. So.
Yeah, we'll be at both. Are you hitting Daytona?
When is that?
End of August.
That's a big maybe.
Yeah.
No.
August,
I might work.
Yeah, it's Daytona in August, Arlington in September, Tinley in October, and St. Louis in November. So I mean, it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, and then Pomona's coming up in what, January?
So yeah, they canceled this year, right?
Right.
Yeah, so they should have one in January, I think. I think you're right. But
I
I've
was
never been
actually-
to Sonoma. I was supposed to go, but they canceled.
I was actually talking to Latino gentlemen about going to Animalia in Mexico City. So it was too last minute this time, but I think I'm gonna go in December. They have another one.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
that'd be
Yeah, I want
fun.
to make it over to the ham show eventually.
I would.
Yeah. Next
I'm
year,
sorry.
I'm trying to hit Hom, and I would like to go to Billy's place for my birthday. I was
Oh, as
supposed
soon
to
as
go to
that shit
fucking.
opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and Billy had a plan.
You should plan a trip, Andrew.
was
We should get
going
like a
to-
few people together and go.
Absolutely.
I'll go, man, because I was like, all right, Billy, I have never spent my birthday in the same country 2 years in a row for the past 12 years. I'm not starting now. So
Yeah.
what are you doing, October 3rd? He's like, nothing, but that weekend I'm flying down to Tinley. Fuck, me too. Well,
Oh shit.
let's do this. And then COVID happened, and then the border shut down, and then Tinley got canceled.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for the borders to open up. I'm so down to go up there. And I've been to Canada about a dozen times, been to Germany half dozen times. So
I've never been out of the country, so this will be.
I've been to like 41.
I saw my first ocean in March.
Yeah.
My parents don't travel. My parents are that fun middle class where we just didn't really.
I don't know if we're gonna need the shots.
We did vacation. I'm allergic to vaccinations, so I sure fucking hope not. It's that Native American shit.
There ain't no fucking vaccinations.
I'm not allowed to donate blood either. I have an unidentifiable blood antigen, and I got a hate letter from the blood bank, and they were really pissed because I'm O negative. I'm the universal donor.
That's what I am.
Super excited, yeah. And then I went and donated blood, and I got a nasty letter saying I could never donate blood again because I have an unidentifiable blood antigen.
Well, figure it out, fuckos. I was trying to be helpful.
I know, right? Like I'm trying to be helpful, but any vaccination they give me, my body like attacks itself.
Really?
That sucks, dude.
Tetanus, pneumonia, Tdap, flu. When I was in high school, it was like the HIV big thing.
Well, they're not asking for shit now, and if they start asking for stuff, then people are going to get offended. And it's going to get shut down. I'm hoping. Cross my fingers, knock on wood. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Anaheim too. Jerome said.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is actually
Okay.
I'm going to kick you
For
off
real.
if you guys start talking
For
again.
real.
All right,
Hey,
Bye,
awesome,
Andrew.
dude. Get out of here,
Thank
bro.
you so much for your
Hey,
time.
man.
different face.
I love it.
Later,
There you
nerd.
go.
Oh, you're a beautiful person.
Later, guys.
Later, man.
Bye. All right.
That was a good one.
Cool. That was awesome. It was a great time.
I'm gonna take him to the gym with me.
There you go. There you go. Next week, we have a very special guest. We have Dr. Lauren Hughes. She is an exotic veterinarian. She works for the local zoo here. Guys, please, if you have questions, please send them in. Like, if there's stuff that you want to know, that you want to be able to ask a veterinarian, please send them in. We would be more than happy to ask any questions for her. She's been doing this for a long time. Dave, I identify as vaccinated.
That's awesome.
I love it. So seriously, please send questions in. This is a great chance to get at a very knowledgeable mind. This is a chance to ask. If you could go and sit down in a vet room and ask a vet whatever questions you wanted, this is your chance. So, and you don't have to pay for it. So it's even better. So please do ask questions. She works on my...
Is she hot? Is she cute? Is she an attractive doctor?
I mean...
I'll judge her next week. I'll judge her next week.
But don't put me on the side. Yes, no, Dr. Lawrence is very cute.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Not that it matters. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think she's cute. But, she works on my gliders, chinchillas, monitors, tegus, boas, balls, like rhinos, elephants, big cats, you name it. It doesn't just have to be reptile related. Like, if there's something you guys want to know, please send us a message and we'll be sure to get those questions asked. Other than that, guys, it has been 3 hours, so we are going to head off. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Andrew's still here. I love it. We had a great time. Appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Later, nerds.